Waiting for players to connect. Go, go, go!
You guys want to do some introductions, or?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
Yeah, that'll fix itself. The Earth you're talking about?
Yep.
That fixes itself in about 30 seconds. We're still looking into that, so didn't take too long.
Anyway,
we've only got maybe
yeah,
4 systems.
Yeah, that's about the default in multiplayer. So.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I obviously don't want to overload things too much, and
Yeah.
also, I mean, you got to keep things moving along. You know, usually, if you're trying to do like a single player game, you don't mind going for hours and hours, but you could always
for
change it to it. Yeah, you could always change the multiplayer options as well.
That works.
What's up, Epic Elite? How's it going?
Yeah, so what you're seeing on your side, Pinstar, you're seeing the planets obviously in their right positions, but
Yeah.
all the
They look
clients,
fine to me.
yeah, all the clients right now, the planets are way out
Oh.
in this area. You see where my head is, so yeah, that's a bug. And
What's up, Zabeltis?
it's fixed for a while, and then it
It broke again?
patch. Yeah, it pops back. It just takes a little bit. Wasn't that, Chris? But we'll have to look into that.
There's pausing the game, reset it properly, or let it catch up.
Oh, give it a try, Pinstar.
Do you want to pause
Pausing
the
and
game for a
reset?
second?
Oh, yeah, I'll pause the game. One sec. Game is paused.
Yeah, and then if you just restart it,
Game is restarted.
it will fix itself, though. I'm not sure
It
if
still
it
works. We can still
Wait for-
interact with Planet.
Oh yeah. Fine. So, Pinstar, do you want to go through introductions? You want to?
Sure, I mean, you guys introduce yourself. I'll introduce myself.
Sure.
That works too.
What's up, Oreo?
Yeah. So, I'm Mike. I'm lead developer at MT Worlds. I'm playing as Orange here, and with me is Chris. He's Whiskers. You'll see here playing blue. I think, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sabouts, you're here as well, right?
Yes, I am.
And I'm Pinstar. Yeah. So here we are in a sort of a pioneer multiplayer game. It's interesting. I can see you guys, and I can see which way you're looking, which is curious. Like I can see you guys are all sort of looking at Earth, but from a different angle that I'm looking at Earth.
Yeah.
Are the planets back in line for you guys?
Not yet.
Hmm.
They pop back a lot sooner than this. We'll have to get that sorted.
Yes, this is still an early access version, folks, so expect some bugs, but since the devs are on here, they've got their handy-dandy bug sheet. Start building that hit list.
Yep.
I like how you can see where everybody's looking. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, we tried to give it more of like a board game feel, you know. You can see what everybody's doing, and also, I mean, when we eventually have VR in here, you know, you'll have hands.
Oh yeah,
and
the VR.
That's
You were
right.
talking about that.
Yep.
I mean, this is just me speaking here. I personally can't do the 3D thing. My brain and my stomach do not agree with each other when that happens.
Yeah.
But it is really cool that you're doing you're getting VR into this.
Fix itself. Why is it?
The Earth is colliding with the moon right now.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah, everything still looks normal on my side here.
This is really weird. I haven't seen it do this before.
all have different audio levels. What do you mean? Like one of us, am I more loud or more quiet? Because I can change it.
Let's see, what do we have
I can
here?
change it probably right now. I just want to know
Works
so I
for
can
me.
balance it out. I want you guys to be able to hear them.
Did it pop back for you guys as well?
That might be a little bit better. Let me know if that's better. Alright. We should probably get something going here. We've got rare resources. We probably need machinery
Still
here.
not,
We know
huh?
we need food, water, stuff like that.
Strange.
Did you want to leave it paused for a bit and let it catch itself up back up again?
I can do that.
Oh, there we go. It popped. There we go. It fixed it for me.
Oh, no, good.
It's still off track for me, so I imagine.
More, it sounds like a synchronization thing.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think so, honestly, because all the packets will be behind if that's the case. Chris, move your head up and down real quick. So, alright, down, up, down, up.
Yeah.
You see me move, yeah, you see me moving in real time and everything. So
Yeah, I've got ships moving pretty fast.
but it's got to be just a client thing. We'll get that sorted out though. Sorry about that.
Everything's fine for me now. It'll update itself. Oh, Mars is still off in its own wee thing.
And I don't know if you guys can see this one. I have a couple of ships that are waiting and queued up, and they're kind of floating out in the middle of the space at the top of the solar system.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a bug as well.
Well, I guess, guys, we're going to go ahead because I've got it set up so that they can't hear me while I'm talking to you guys at the stream unless I use the chat key, so we can communicate about how we want to set up an awesome an awesome trading route here. Which I think is going to be the best way. I'm just going to go with the basic, like, moving food and
Alright, let's see.
and
I
resources.
haven't even set up
to
a route. I'm sitting here worrying about these
Luna.
bugs.
Player advantage.
Even though the game's a little bugged
Yeah,
right now,
it's
just
not
on the placement of planets, which they said's pretty normal for multiplayer because they're still trying to work the kinks out. So
Well, I do believe the machinery market has been eaten alive.
Are you?
Yeah. Yes, indeed, by me.
we're gonna want to pick up everything we can when it comes to that. I don't think. Yeah, we want raw resources, and when we get to Luna,
Uh oh. It appears I cannot I don't have the colonization buttons for the other planets.
we don't want to pick this stuff up.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah, bug.
Add it to the list.
Now, by colonization buttons, you mean like the subsidized colony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
you probably have it.
I do have it, but I was just wondering if there's a way to actually colonize yourself rather than letting the say the colony created by Earth government.
Not right now. We had it previously so that you were actually getting thing from the gates that you colonized, or the planets that you colonized, the gates on them. But pretty imbalanced because then you could just go around colonizing things and getting profits from that. The same thing was happening with the industry. So we're thinking about changing that so that go directly into your company hangar. So if you go to a planet, you have waiting, and then you have hangar.
Yeah.
Hangar is just your stuff. So if you do like a deliver and hold or deliver and store, the stored stuff will go into your hangar so that only you can access it. So we're thinking maybe putting the industry so that output's directly into the hangar instead of going
that would be a huge improvement because like right now I'd love to build an extra machinery factory here on Earth.
Mhm.
But if you guys can tap into that machinery it produces, it's not worth the 350,000 it cost me to lay that down. But if I knew that I was going to get all that machinery myself, then I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Is it possible to essentially subsidize a colony and then pretty much take up all the gates on it?
You'll get most of them because when you subsidize colony, you get like 99% reputation with that planet. So the gates, because you need 100% reputation, which is nearly impossible to get. But 99% of the gates. So if there's 7 or 8 gates on there, you can get 7 of them or whatever.
Oh, okay. So one gate's always going to be open for somebody else to get. You can't own all gates.
Yeah.
Bummer. I was trying to own all the gates on Venus in my playthrough I'm doing.
Oh yeah. Won't really allow that.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah, I could see that because it could be a snowball effect, right? So if like you become, pretty wealthy, you could just start subsidizing planets and just kind of having a monopoly on them.
Yeah, gobbling everything up.
All right, for those of you watching the stream right now, I think I'm just going to go. I'm doing a kind of basic.
Also, yeah, Sabouts, I was looking at your playthrough. You're playing on unfair difficulty, and yeah, it wasn't that hard. Hard as we had hoped. So, what we did, we're testing with making less AIs because we find that it's more difficult when you're trying to supply everything yourself, and also we're playing with the it seems like later game that there's a lot more profits involved.
I mean, I can see, with unfair difficulty, it's tough starting out, but once you kind of get the ball rolling, it's pretty easy to start catching up to people. And I mean, you actually should see, I just recorded the 3rd episode last night. You want to talk about really running away with the game. I'm pretty much starting to shoot right past the AI. But I figured out a really good system.
Have you watched Vanilla Strategy? I'm not sure of his full name. Vanilla PC Strategy, I think it is. He did a playthrough. I mean, he was making $1 million, I think, within the first half hour or something. It was kind of crazy. Oh.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at right now, probably.
Yeah.
I think I have like one ship alone that's pulled in, I think, $1 million in profit.
Jeez.
So then I built a bunch of ships just like that, and I got them on different routes, but they're all pulling in about $1 million. But I mean, the AI still, I'm still neck and neck with them, so we're all keeping up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I seem to have resynced completely now.
What do you mean?
It all looks perfect on my end now.
Good.
It just suddenly resynced.
Huh. I wonder if that's the full planet updates that we send.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, mine's still not synced up, I can tell you that.
Still,
yeah, the planet's still kind of orbiting in the center here off the orbit line.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm able to play and everything, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, we got some ships here doing pretty well. Just getting the basics
we'll also
out.
adjust with turning the
216,000. So we may as well just go ahead and do a couple different things. Obviously, we should just buy all these gates because why not? We should buy the gates on Luna too, or buy some gates. See a couple.
Anyone started on Mars yet?
I saw a couple rockets heading towards Mars. I haven't said anything towards Mars at the moment.
All right, we need to build more ships.
What's
up, Dean? Two? How's it going, man?
Yep.
Oh wow, it's all gone. You got 2 units sitting on Earth right now.
Yep.
Someone needs to start bringing back more raw materials.
I'm waiting for the next the next Big McLarge ship model to come out. That's when I start my next phase.
Yeah.
I like those big ones because they're more fuel efficient.
Really need
I don't
to
care if
move
it takes
like
10 days
just
to flip
rare
on the,
resources
on
in
the
Luna
surface.
between Earth and.
Yeah, exactly.
I can use this and move just rare resources and machinery.
I see a lot of YouTubers that where it says weekly supply deficit. Have you guys both noticed that? I mean, have you seen how that works?
No.
I have not.
Okay, so I don't know. I need to make that more clear. I think. So you have your supply demand in the graphs,
Right.
which kind of give you a general feel of how much just how much they're in demand or supply. So it's the numbers that you see there. I think maybe you were even mistaken that for Sabouts for how much surplus there is or deficit or whatnot. But that's not really what it is. It's just kind of a generalization. I don't know. Maybe we need to hide that number or something. But down below you see weekly surplus deficit. So that's how much the planet is actually creating or
consuming here.
Right. Yeah, so you can hover over them and you can actually see the raw production and consumption for that planet.
Is there a way to see the exact dollar amount per resource that you'd be paid out? Because I noticed that, like, as the demand goes down closer to the neutral, that you get paid less per that resource. But it's not really clear, like, if the demand is at the 3/4 full, you're going to get 7,000. But if it's only a third full, you're only going to get 3,000.
Right. Yeah, and the amount you're paid is mostly based off of the higher that demand, the more you're going to be paid. Also, your company reputation, and then there's also factors such as how much the difference between the surplus and the deficit is for the entire system and the entire galaxy. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I know I've gotten a lot of requests for seeing the actual number that you'll get.
Yeah, it's useful because I remember I got a ship full of passengers, and then I sent them all the way out to I think Europa, and I'm like, all right, this is they've been asking for it. There's a subsidy. I'm gonna get a big payout, and it takes like half a year to get there, and I get like $3,000.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm like, wah wah wah.
Well, okay, so passengers are a little different situation as well because prices you can set. I don't know if you've noticed that, Pinstar. I think you did, right? And also, we need to make this more clear because a lot of people are setting the prices in planet. So if they're trying to set prices going to Europa, they would set the price on Earth, on the Earth slot, which isn't really
yeah
set on the destination slot.
See, now that doesn't make 100% sense there.
Yeah. These, they're just automatically priced, but the passengers, we want to have some sort of competition between which they're charging for fares. So I don't know. We need to make that more clear, I think. I'm thinking, how would you guys feel about like a video tutorial after the 3 tutorials? I'm thinking maybe just throw a video tutorial in there that explains some of the game concepts.
Yeah, I absolutely. In fact, that's probably what I'm gonna make some sort of video tutorial.
Hey, what's up, Vanilla?
Once I get my brain wrapped around this game a little bit more tightly.
We just mentioned
so to speak.
your video like a second
I would
ago.
definitely do a video tutorial of sorts.
I'll probably just throw a 4th tutorial in there and have the video play right in the game.
Yeah, so I guess the way I was reading that, the price for passengers is set on
get a handle on what's going on.
Or it's set on the. Here, let me clarify that actually. So you were saying for passengers is that if I'm shuttling passengers, say between Earth and Luna, I want them to pay for the ticket from Earth to Luna. I set the price on Earth.
No, you set the price on Luna.
On Luna, okay.
If they're going from Earth to Luna, right?
Okay. I got Vanilla PC Strategy actually in the stream right now.
Oh yeah?
And he was asking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned you because we were all talking about your video where you were making like 1,030 minutes. I'm doing the same thing right now actually on my playthrough. My 3rd video I recorded. I hate to do spoilers for people who are watching the series, but I'm like pulling down some mad cash right now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Alright, let's see what we're doing here. Let's take a look at our ships. Yeah, we gotta get this on a route, right? So that's gonna be
so using that logic, let's see if I can set up a proper
I gotta change the cost of that. We got 6 anyways. Or change the name of that, Earth Luna Direct. Just do it the same way I always do it, or at least how I'm doing it on my playthrough, so I know it's more of a machine and rare resource kind of hauling, and then we're just going to build a ton of those, because that's like just mad bank is the best way to do that. 2. And then these are all just kind of small income generators. Once I get the main fleet, like the bulk of my economy. And
how's everything look on your side, Pinstar?
Oh, everything's peachy keen. I see your helmets floating around. The only helmet I don't see is Sabouts. Oh wait, never mind. He's looking at it from a different angle, so he looks fine too. All the ships are looking fine.
Cool.
Looks good to me.
From my point of view, Luna snapped onto its orbit, but I've still got Earth and Mars off.
Like they're far off still?
Yeah, they're still just kind of floating in dead space.
Okay.
Those of you that are just joining the stream, just do keep in mind this is obviously very early access. It's not even actually fully out yet. And so we're going to find bugs here and there. These are the 2 of the guys that there's 3 people joining me. One is Pinstar. He's a YouTuber himself. I got a link to his channel down below in the description, and then I've got 2 of the developers here as well. Pretty much the 2 developers who made the game, and they're using this as a good opportunity to test multiplayer so they can work some bugs up before the game releases on August 16th.
You see Mars is like in between sort of, is that like the 4th stage? And it's like, yeah, like 4th stage, it's like got 2 sets of pads.
Mars usually has
and also it's doing the same thing on the graph. If you hover over it in
rare resource availability is actually pretty low. Raw materials is not that great either.
Didn't get rid of the other one.
Fines or something.
Hey, why do I have such a high reputation? I guess everybody starts off at high with Mars.
Bugs.
What's up, Nuna Guna? I hope I'm reading that correctly.
Freaking Orkin, man.
Okay, let's take a look at our ship here. Is it launched yet? No, because we haven't started it.
Yeah, I just
as we're built as some stream. Yeah, so everybody knows I'm actually streaming on both YouTube Gaming and Twitch.
We're going from Earth to Luna and back, and they were equipped to say get food and water. And there's plenty of food on Earth, and there's plenty of demand for it on Luna, but they decided to leave empty when they finally were delivered.
Oh.
Like I just had another one produced here, and it just left there completely empty of water.
Like first time delivery?
Yeah, first time delivery, and usually they come full.
5,000 right off the bat. This is where the money's going to start rolling in.
We're actually just going to go ahead and order completely empty.
Ship of that. You guys are about to see some
making its way to Luna to drop off nothing.
I don't want to say dirty, but I think Pinstar right now is way far ahead of all of us.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, he's way up there, but I'll jump up here shortly enough.
If you want to see a game break, play it multiplayer.
I've heard that that's the hardest portion of developing a game is the multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of games, like great games out there, and the first thing I see people ask is, when, is it going to be multiplayer? And the dev's like, no.
With first-time ships leaving empty, I have that same. I had that same exact problem in my playthrough. I actually brought it up on the 3rd episode. I mentioned it because I had launched a bunch of ships.
Never mind, that's not a bug.
And they left completely empty except for the first one I launched.
Setting the pickup rules wrong or something?
No,
which actually is
wrong route.
I don't mean to talk over it.
Which
is why
I set them to be my.
I launch now like one ship at a time if I build a bunch. Like I manually launch them myself.
Oh, so it's like spawning on Earth, then having to drive to
Luna
to start,
and then going there. But when I look at all their routes, I told them to be Earth. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the Mars supply so it's not confusing it. Because I got all these ships, these gigantic ships, bringing absolutely nothing to Mars, because they're
going from Luna.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the best way to do it.
Mars is gonna famine like pretty soon if no one saves it.
What? Not paying attention.
Micromanagement for the win. Exactly.
Throw some rockets at it.
All right, good. My one ship is actually working properly, and it's got food and water, so I will save you, Mars. With provided all these other ships get their act together.
There's a bad thunderstorm going on behind me right now.
Yeah, it's just going to be sitting here waiting at the gate because all of these other giant ships need to land and then take back off with nothing.
We're kind of buying up a bunch of places here right off the bat. I probably should.
I'm trying to envision this without the planets being in the wrong positions. And otherwise, I think it's and the gate's wrong, but otherwise, I think it's working pretty well, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm. It's just that interpolation bug that we've been fighting with.
Yeah.
It's either been fighting with. It's either the planets are out of position like they are now, or they move like they rubber band like backwards and forwards. That's just like shaking, like it just shakes your camera on the planet too much.
Which I don't know how that works with like ship travel times, because like the travel times seem dynamic based on the positioning of the planets, which makes a lot of sense, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but everything is being simulated on your computer, Pinstar, and then you're just sending us the positions, and we're trying to be like obviously you're trying to send me the positions across the Great Ocean, so my computer's trying to work out
Discord right
the best
now.
place to put it.
Discord's really the best way
to
do
like
everything,
move
I
it a
think,
tiny
when it
bit
comes
or
to
move
in-game
it
chatting.
a lot, and obviously the equation is slightly off and is throwing planets off a bit.
So you guys had mentioned probably adding in some type of effect to where if you were to build something that increased machinery output on a planet, it would benefit you instead of benefiting everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Every recording I've seen on YouTube now, people have almost said the same exact thing. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna change it so that it just outputs to your hangar instead of the entire planet.
Yeah, I mean that definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Then you have a a reason to go and do that, you know, to actually invest in that.
Yeah, the thinking behind it was that it's strategic move. So if you want, later on there's gonna be a lot of planets, and not everyone's gonna be focusing on every planet.
Yeah, that
They're
makes
gonna be,
sense.
Yeah, but I think you're right. It doesn't to just have the goods just go into the regular pool like that. So
Yeah, I think we need to turn the planet updates back up again because I think I'm getting outdated planetary data.
you didn't send a patch to Steam or anything, did you?
No.
Not since the last one 2 days ago or something?
Yeah, I
Switch
believe
the
so.
ships onto a different route now, make them go to Mars
Last
or
time I
something.
tested with
It won't produce as much money,
Bodhi,
but
this was perfect.
we want to start kind of developing Mars. That, or if we could
Just trying to
colonize,
rescue,
but we
like,
can't
my
colonize
ships
because
from,
right now there's a bug where
From Mars here.
only the main person hosting the game can colonize. The other people joining it
They
can't
still
subsidize
want to try
the
and-
colonize.
They're
On
not
the planet.
it looks like they've all landed on my gateway here, but they don't want to take back off, even though I've changed their route.
So they're on Mars, and you set them to a Earth-Mars route, and now they're not.
Well, I turned them to an Earth-Luna route. I just want them to get the heck out off of Mars and get back to Earth and Luna. They were never supposed to go to Mars.
Stop and then start. I'll have to mark that in the bugs.
Yeah, we're finding a lot of good info, which is great because
Yeah,
the
they're
developers are
not
able to
getting
write
off
all of
the
that down and
planet
address
here.
it before the big launch on the 16th. So
Yeah, you'll just have to sell them then. Sorry.
that was the biggest reason why they wanted to do some type of multiplayer thing.
Or
so
you
that
could,
they can
if you
test
put them
the
back
game.
on, put them back onto a route, like you're gonna like bunny hop them on the Like
Really
put them on a
outside
route,
right now.
like make a route. Like if were they on Mars and you need to get them to Earth, make like make a custom route
Which
and
two
set them
does
to
it
it, and
take
then
you
get
to
them
that
to go
are
to
producing the least
Earth, and then
amount?
put them back on the correct route.
Then,
I'm trying that now.
so what sort of benefits does a planet like Mars provide? I know, kind of looking at it, doesn't really have very much rare resource availability or raw materials.
The biggest thing is habitability. So it's going to be more of a delivery plan. So you're going to be able to grow populations there fast. And obviously the higher population you have, the more demands you're going to have for water, food, and that sort of thing.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff to Mars, and it'll really soak up a lot of stuff for you.
So the best thing kind of for that is, you know, if I wanted to just set up a bunch of ships delivering food and water, that'll actually help that planet grow as well, correct?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and a lot of the game is just and trying to balance that, you know, growth between, you know, food and water, everything else. A place like the moon, I mean, the moon's supplying rare resources, so that a lot more obvious, but ability and water availability and everything else.
Well, Venus has an awesome form of rare resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with no habitability.
Right. Growing a population there is going to be tough, and nobody's
Revolution Under
going to want to
Siege.
go there after
Passion
it,
Heart. I
it's
haven't
reached
heard of
its,
that game,
you know,
actually.
100%
You should.
development and whatnot.
So I don't forget to
And
look
you
at
got to
the
remember,
game.
to get that full rare resources, it has to be at 100% development. So if you look at Moon now, it's only outputting,
There's something
so
wrong with
24
this shit,
rare resources.
maybe. Doesn't seem to be
Let me
making any
find the mine
profit.
here. Yeah, it's actually,
Yeah, Passion Heart. You should go down to my Discord. There's a link down below in the description for my Discord server, and if you join the Discord
What's the,
server, you can post that
What's the
game
criteria
there,
for the
or
game
so that way I remember
colonizing
to
other
look it up after
worlds?
the stream.
Because sometimes, like, they've taken forever, and like it's been Earth, the Moon, and Mars for ages, and others it's like, you know, here's Europa, here's Mercury, here's Ganymede, you know, like one after the other before I've even touched the first of the new ones.
well, early in the game, it's basically random. I mean, early in the game, there's a greater chance of it colonizing. It slows down as the game goes on, but yeah, usually you get a few of them early on. What sort of in there though? Because I think that would help.
I mean, it's never been really a problem. You know, the games where they don't colonize other stuff quickly, I just focus on Mars and the Moon. And
Right.
games where they colonize other things quickly, I start getting sort of, you know, other ships out there to take a look at things.
Yeah, and in random systems, you'll see a little bit of variation because there's, you know, it does have a modifier as far as rare resources and habitability, how much it wants to colonize those planets. So in random systems, you'll see a little more variation than you do in Soul.
Can I put...
Well,
Yeah, Vanilla, that's a good question, actually. So you did say food and water affect population.
You just went quiet.
Just a question. So you said food and water affected population. What does other things like consumer goods, machinery, does that affect the development, or?
Consumer goods are they don't really affect anything else.
Okay.
I think machinery and the population affect development.
Oh.
Then development affects much everything else as far as what's produced. The amount of food and water that's produced are modified by the population and obviously the water availability, habitability. So if you look at the tooltips like in the planet view and you hover over food, water, it kind of gives you a breakdown as far as what affects their production and what affects their consumption.
Ah, yeah, that I didn't even notice the tooltips do that actually.
Yeah, so that tells you exactly what each is affected by. Maybe I should put some values in there or something. But if you look at food, it says habitability, development, and population. That's what helps it.
Okay, yeah, values definitely wouldn't be a bad idea either. I know some people who like, spreadsheets and space kind of games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would really love stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was saying before. Is all right. I got my new giant ships ordered, and yay, they actually are carrying things. I can actually make some money now.
All right, we're gonna convert 2 of these ships over to the new Mars route, just kind of build up Mars a little bit. I don't see any reason to do that, or not do that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Ah, that's much better.
So just 2 of them over for now.
Money is good.
But the other ones keep
just
running the way they're running. This one's finally producing income. It wasn't for a while. We're at 805 though. That is so expensive.
The one other annoying thing is that they.
We're gonna run everybody here in a minute.
Oop! I think I got a little. Oh, never mind. I'm good.
But you could just you could just drop the link right in the general.
Out with no actual thing.
Chat.
You have to sink some money in there to get it to level 3 to get actual regular ships there.
Yeah. That's all, part of the strategy.
Yeah.
Early on, you pretty much just launch rockets there unless you really want to put a regular starship there.
Do you guys think there'll be, at some point, a way to maybe sort ships with different tabs, maybe based off of route or something like that?
Yeah.
I already started working on it, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I spent like a full day on it, and then I'm like, oh man, I couldn't get past one bug, so I kind of gave up on it with 4 days left to launch. But it's halfway done already, so
awesome.
So it'll get there soon. What other sort of UI things are you guys looking for?
Just like UI stuff, like for reputation.
Anybody
like what different effects, like if it gets below
anybody in the
X,
stream
you're
have
not
any
going to be able to
questions?
build more stuff.
Because I will ask them.
If it gets above X, maybe give you a bonus to something.
Yeah. Some tooltips in there. I noticed also a lot of people are struggling with the route rules.
Yes, I fight with those all the time.
Yep, that's me as well.
So I'll put some tooltips on those as well, just to kind of explain what each one does. Yeah, I noticed in your first game or two, Sabouts, you were setting, I think, every route that you were building. It's not really necessary, because if you think about it, the ships you're only setting them up to carry certain things. So unless you're trying to set up something really particular, if you just have a ship that's carrying food at the default, unless you're trying to carry something like, consumer goods, then you have to turn food off in order to.
Yeah,
because they use the same they use the same cargo bay.
So yeah, if I've got a ship full of the same cargo bays, then I need to set them. But if I was to build a ship of, like, say, just food, water, consumer goods, and rare resource cargo bays, I wouldn't have to, like, turn off, obviously, raw material stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And the one exception being, like, if you're delivering a lot of food and water to Mars, for instance, and it might dip into supply sometimes because you're delivering so much there, you might want to turn off pickup from Mars.
Yeah, so I've seen that before, where one ship delivers a bunch of stuff, and then the next ship picks it back up. I'm like,
yeah.
That defeats the purpose.
Yeah, that's actually one reason why, like, usually if I plan on sending food and water to Mars, I just won't even allow that route to pick food and water back up from Mars, because
that's a smart thing to do.
And then Vanilla in the stream, he said it'd be nice to be able to copy route rules or some default types or something like that.
That's a good idea. Let me see. Thinking where I could put that, because I was thinking the same thing for the ship. Somebody was requesting that we put like predefined ship types you might want to build again. Some, maybe just put some buttons off there that you can hit a plus and it'll assign the ship layout that you built.
Oh yeah,
or something. Yeah, so maybe we could do something similar in the route rules. Spot for it. Basically, it shouldn't be too hard though.
Also, I don't know if you saw in my video, I had some weird thing where I launched my rockets and they all launched at once and didn't produce anything.
Well, that's why I always do mine with wait until full, and then I just spam a whole crap ton of them.
That makes sense.
You know, the first X will autofill, and then it'll run out of supply, but the others will just sit there and then slowly launch themselves.
Oh,
so that way you don't get it. That's what I did at the very beginning of the game, is I queued up like, 25 rockets with machinery on them, set from Mars to Luna, and then set them all off in a giant salvo, and then like 8 of them went at once, and then the rest were just kind of drip feeding without me having to babysit them. And that's why you guys had no machinery in the beginning of the game.
Vanilla also mentioned some type of visual variety between ships. He said he occasionally gets ships such as the D500 and D520 mixed up. I'm looking at the tab.
Yeah, that is, there are a lot of similarities there.
Yeah.
I wonder if there'd just be maybe some way to, I want to say sort it, but...
Well, in the ship's view?
Yeah, I guess maybe, but I don't really see how you could.
We could sort it by the ship type. That was already planned, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vanilla, he mentioned he's actually going to organize this with some different tabs.
Good enough.
So that you can sort it by route, ship type, and stuff like that. And maybe profitability and various
all
things.
the machinery.
Yeah.
The age of a ship in the game, I'm guessing the older the ship is, the higher maintenance, or the more it's going to break down.
Yeah, it gains faster deterioration, makes disrepair go up. Disrepair is actually the number that determines how if it'll break down or not. So if that's higher, it'll break down. But deterioration affects. Makes sense.
Yeah, it just makes it more prone to
exactly.
break down. Is there a way to basically say auto replace this ship with the exact same model and settings when the ship is X years old?
I just asked that question.
So you don't need to worry about like, okay, my fleet is all 20 years old. I need to stop the game and manually replace every single one of these. That I still want the root, but is there? That was the big thing on Transport Fever, which is another transportation game I played on my channel. They had these settings for auto replacing for aging vehicles.
Okay. Get that added.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I didn't even, because I was thinking about that too. I was like, if my ships get to like 3, 4, 5 years, I mean, I don't know how long eventually you can go until. I'm sure once disrepair gets up to like 30%, you probably don't want to kick it around.
It's usually about 20 years that it starts actually becoming a problem, honestly.
Ah, okay. So you've got some time then.
Yeah, we might shrink that because game's big at that point. So it might be beneficial even to performance to have more options to get rid of those older ships and replace them with bigger ships.
So we've got the lithium crystal availability in Europa. I think that's something we're going to take advantage of. Somebody's shipping machinery there.
And it's my list now. This is your guys' strategy. Just tell me to add stuff to my list, and then I'm not paying attention to the game. Go. I got 4 ships right now.
It is working.
Chris, I hope you're representing this. Much better than I am.
Alright. Yeah, Europa, dilithium crystal is something we want, but we don't have ships that can really travel back and forth fast enough to turn a profit that's going to make sense, right? He's launching rockets. Why don't we set some rockets up ourselves to launch machinery off in places, right? Makes sense, maybe? It seems like a good idea. I haven't messed with that yet, but he seems to be making good money doing it. Let's just do something basic. We'll do... we got mercury here.
Alright, let's take a look here.
Huge raw materials availability. Let's go from Earth to Mercury. And we'll send food, consumer goods, water. Obviously, we don't want that. And we're not worried about the other stuff. And yes, direct. Then we'll just purchase a ton of Neptune rockets, fill it like this.
That happened by itself?
By itself.
Nice.
Earth, Mercury,
Machinery.
direct.
Machinery. Always machinery. Much machinery.
And then we'll just set them up.
I mean, you said that machinery as well as food helps in development, yes?
Oh, yeah.
So I figure this is my way to kickstart it. You guys are more than welcome to use the lower profitability food and water. I'll handle the high profit stuff. You guys do that. It's teamwork here.
Machinery is...
Water seems a little overpowered at the moment, actually.
I noticed that. I've got more ships on order for water right now.
I've actually, yeah, machinery is like gold in this game.
Yeah, machinery, water. There's the other one. Raw materials is pretty balanced, but that's good. That's a good profit too.
Yeah, it's decent profit, but it's only one way in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
Because with that material slot, like, see, the thing I like about food is, you know, you use the same slot to bring rare materials back on the trip home, so you give double dip. Whereas you can't do that with water. I'm assuming that's an intentional design choice.
Yep.
Alright, well, that's doing that. We need to get more of these.
Been putting some thought into. Oops, I just sent a bunch of rockets to Europe. I meant to send them to Mercury.
I was about to say, that's a lot of rockets.
I just was thinking about
Let's see what these turn over for.
a different cargo slot for consumer goods.
Nice.
Probably going to rework consumer goods. There's not too much benefit in using them right now, so that's probably going to be reworked soon.
Do you know what might be a good idea? Is if you have any of the passenger slots, you know, the coach, business class, first class,
right,
and your ship wants to take off, but there's not enough passengers, or they don't want to use your service. Any empty slots could count as consumer goods slots to possibly make a consumer goods, to sort of round out those trips.
Sure. That idea.
Just throwing things out there.
Yep.
Yeah, because the consumer goods don't pay very well, so it's a lot of fuss.
Yeah.
To get them online.
Yep. Really have a good place in the game right now, so it's definitely going to be something I'm working on. I'm actually thinking about having like luxury resources.
Yeah, that would
be more reason to spread out into other stars. Right now, dilithium crystals and rare resources, that's going to be a reason to spread out, but there's not going to be too much. So yeah, we're going to add some more, rare stuff that's going to be just in specific spots throughout the galaxy. Luxuries, and maybe I'll combine like a luxury goods and consumer goods into a new cargo slot. That's kind of my thought.
That would certainly.
We're gonna start moving a lot of machinery here shortly.
More supply chains, I know, in like Transport Tycoon or
Still way
Transport Fever.
Lagging behind.
But the supply chains are, a lot of the fun, and
oh yeah.
We have some of that with the lithium fuel and the machinery and everything, but like to add some more.
We got an Earth to Luna. Let's do an Earth to Mercury. Machinery, because it's not a very far route. We'll switch this one up and make this. Didn't really make us any profit.
Still on order.
Machinery.
A giant supply of food now for some reason. I delivered too much.
Like that.
And they'll just be fat and happy.
There's really no rare resource. It's gonna be mainly delivering machinery from Earth to Mercury. I should pick something up on Mercury and bring it back, obviously. Raw materials. Yeah. That makes sense.
30 million people on the moon. Where's here?
Obviously, the only thing I want to pick up is machinery, so I'll just have that set for that. And we'll make some ships that do that, which I think we've either already got them, or... See, we don't actually have a ship that's like that, so we're going to get one.
Let me make sure this route is... Well, actually, let me order the ship first, and then I'll make sure the route is set.
So we'll do it like this. And I built a bunch of... I got machinery. Produce more machinery. I'm working on that, getting that on Earth. We really could probably...
I'm just waiting for Mars.
Well, we'll do it just like that, actually. Earth, Mercury.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to point out is like you look at the if you like say you look at Earth and the last 3 columns of the supply and demand,
right.
You see like it looks like there's no colonists waiting for there, but then it was all the way down below. You can see all these individual people with waiting for that. So it's a little misleading. Like it looks like Earth has nobody that wants to leave it right now. But in fact, there's plenty of people on Earth that want to go to, say, Mars.
Yeah. All right, I'll get that fixed. We have just a visual way of displaying that a little better. So yeah, I'll get that fixed.
Okay, let's see how we're doing for reports now. There we go. Getting up there. You're getting up there. Probably going to need a lot more gates on Earth. And we're pretty... I mean, we got the most gates. A little bit of a visual bug going on. So we're filling the gates very quickly. We can subsidize another machinery factory. We'll wait, but we are going to get a bunch of those up and running. Machinery is producing a lot.
Mercury with 11 billion food. I'm surprised it hasn't auto-upgraded its spaceport, given all the goodies it's been given.
Which one?
Mercury.
Yeah, the spaceport upgrades are just tied to population, actually. So I think it's the first 4. Some are more dynamic, but
is that based off of the planet size?
Yeah, base population. So I think once it reaches 200,000, it goes to spaceport level. What is it? It's spaceport level 1, I think.
The ships won't be ready till food subsidy and whatnot. Okay, so there goes our money for the food. We're making good money doing that.
There.
Why are these stops? Start. Oh, I just didn't start them, yeah. Oh, I want them to leave a little bit at a time, that's why. Duh. I was like, what did I do?
Oh yeah, what do the raw materials being satisfied do for say, Earth?
Creates consumer goods.
Ah.
So every consumer good requires 2 raw materials to create.
Gotcha.
So eventually, Earth does run out of raw materials, and it starts not producing as much consumer goods.
So you've got to deliver raw material to Earth then to get more consumer goods.
Correct.
Right.
So it starts with a big bank in order to give you some time to do that. Have you guys played with random systems at all yet?
Not yet. Oop, someone broke down.
Yeah, I have not as well. It's supposed to just kind of change, kind of give you a more... You're not starting Sol or anything?
Yep. Yeah, it's just a starting system.
366.
It's fun. I mean, you get some different challenges, It's not always setting up the move.
Yeah, I like that thing because like having varied starts is always a fun way to do the game.
Right.
Well, there's our ships to Mercury, and they do have machinery. Well, some of them do, some of them don't. But they are going to pick up raw materials here and bring it back to Earth, which I think is fine, because even though Earth has raw materials, has a bank of raw materials, it is going to eventually, like you said, run out. Earth could always use more raw materials for consumer goods and such. Oh, you know what? There's no spaceport here. I can't land. The population's not high enough yet.
Although I do agree with the whole setup of like Earth versus Luna as sort of the starter, because you kind of need that to just get things going while you wait for other things. Because sending resources to a brand new planet is important.
Well, I'll shift them onto a different course while we wait for Mercury to be where it needs to be.
In random systems, you always have at least one other planet that you're going to be starting with. It's most of the times you get two at the beginning of a Soul game. But you don't always have a moon around your home planet, which makes things tricky. And
I was about to say, because having the moon there is like ultra short transport times.
It's still plenty playable, though. I mean, if you have to deal with a planet that's a little bit further away.
Yeah, we'll just move them all to Mars for now is what we'll do. And then once Mercury gets its thing up, we'll go ahead and the spaceport up. We'll go ahead and do our thing. Oh, you know what? They're probably perpetually locked there.
You guys shot ahead of me for a little bit.
Yeah. For a while.
Well, that was that whole malarkey where I ordered 4 insanely expensive ships that went to Mars for no reason. So that was a lot of assets tied up, not doing anything for me.
Alright, I need more. Well, those are just floating in limbo. I've still got money. I'm gonna duplicate these ships that are for Mars. Like that. And just have them set and ready to go.
And forgive me if you mentioned this before. So delivering consumer goods to another world, how does that benefit the other world?
It's just pretty much just a
It's just a sink.
Yeah, it's just a sink.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I did that.
It's almost the same as food, water. Where, well, no, I shouldn't say that because food and water have a purpose. Yeah, it's not nearly the same, but it's just a sink of resources.
Fair enough.
Oh, you know what? That's basic, though, so let's not set up to transport raw materials or anything. I just realized. I've got to change that around if I want to do that. We do want to get machinery to Mars, right? That makes sense. That's just to move food and everything to it. No profit there because the ships that are doing that right now. This game's a little laggy. I wonder if it's because
besides the graphical bugs, this is working pretty darn well.
I'd say so.
It's very distracting to have the planets off in the middle of nowhere here, but very distracting.
I'm just pretending that that's where they are, and that's where they've always been.
But otherwise, I'm pretty pissed. We'll get that sorted out, I'm sure, before launch. I sure hope.
Yeah, the one to Mars not making very much.
Oh, somebody sent some bigger ships to Mercury, it looks like.
Yeah, they're locked up there. I can't do anything now. Even switching the route doesn't. They just stay there.
That was kind of the problem I had with Mars.
Yeah.
Spaceport.
Now, one question regarding the pricing of the tickets. Like, how does the game determine, if a price is too high or too low or?
So.
Oh, it's actually spending the money and not upgrading.
It's a really complicated. I actually did a blog on this maybe 4 months ago or something.
I'll mention that in a second.
Price that
okay, I gotta change that.
That a customer wants to see, that a passenger wants to see to go a place. And
Here's what we're gonna do.
sister, obviously below that price, is going to be most preferred. But then there's also a luxury rating that they have. They might be willing to pay a little bit extra for.
It's still going.
Nice
Why,
to
True
see.
Sniper? You
A
have
higher
more
level
time seeing
seat, right?
something?
Now, does that factor in the distance? Like, if I'm taking passengers to Europa, obviously I'm going to want more pricing than I am to take them to Luna.
Yep, and they're also more likely to want better seats the further they go. And into interstellar travel.
That makes sense.
I want them to go back to making money.
Is there? My only request would be some sort of like baseline, like suggested price for coach going to Mars would be X. Just to give me something of a baseline, so I'm not making up a price and then it ends up being like
this game's gonna be
high or insanely
I mean, there's a lot
low.
here. It's pretty awesome.
You now
I've been
on a
really
route
enjoying
is
it.
that here? Let me. I thought somebody said it was bugged, but I haven't actually. Let's look at. Let me see. Earth Luna is 100.
The game crashed
Earth
for me.
Mercury.
Wait for it to respond. It should respond
Earth
here, maybe.
Europa 190. Also, that
if not, I'll have to.
Close, but it is giving you a suggested price. It's just not. I think it's a little bit bugged right now.
Yeah. No, I mean it seemed to work out because I just launched the ship with a whole bunch of passenger seats of all three types, and I did like first class to Mars 700.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of bummed out. Hopefully it keeps
class, 500 and coach 300.
Hopefully it keeps my.
And the ship's full.
Company.
The ship is indeed full.
Right now, True Sniper. It looks like they. So they said like they haven't done more than this is the first time they've ever done 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I should get a decent payday. But if I'd gone with the suggested prices of like 190 something, 2 something, that would be so much lower compared to what I could.
Fire on how long they've been waiting for. So if they've been waiting for like some of these are 2 years.
I think I actually ended up crashing my game somehow.
Oh no.
Just as the Windows 64 exe is not responding. Is it possible to hot join?
Should be.
I made it a public game, so
go ahead and give it a try.
Yeah, come on.
I don't think we've ever tried to hot join this late into it, but it.
Well, hey, first time for
work.
everything.
While waiting to jump back in, somebody asked, what is the max number of players in a multiplayer game?
8.
Wow.
Nice.
That's going to be crazy. Whoop.
Here I come.
Waiting for player to connect.
Now, does it let me pick my company again, or does my company just switch AI?
It should to give it right back to you. I don't think your company actually does. Right, Chris? You were the one working on that bit. I think your company just does nothing while you're disconnected at the moment.
Oh, okay. Is that something that eventually you guys might like say like some people can hot join and everything, and maybe like they leave the game because they got to go or something, and they're kind of so the game can keep going. Their just company switches over to AI, or because I know it's kind of like how Paradox does some of their games. Like you could play hot join EU4 and such.
Chris, what? No, he's having some work done on his floor and stuff. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. We were talking about having AI take over, but it was going to be a really dumb AI at the moment because it's not obviously going to try to replicate what you were doing. I know, in EU4 and Hearts of Iron, it does kind of the same thing where if you let AI take over, they just ruin everything. So what we're going to do is kind of lock everything that the player has, and then
you wouldn't want
let them start doing
like it's like, oh, I have $1 million. Let's buy 50 ships and put them in silly places.
That sounds about right. That still says I'm connected.
Yeah, and it still says waiting for player connect.
I don't know that this is actually working, to be honest with you. Because every time we've done hot join before, it picks right up. So I don't know. Maybe there's something this late in the game that doesn't.
Try hitting cancel. I just want to see if it like lets us resume.
Yeah, let me see. Oh boy. It doesn't seem like I can actually even use the menu. It won't let me highlight and click the menu keys.
Yeah, and I mean, it has the
Same
game
here.
paused for me, but I can't unpause it or hit any of the
I
menu
mean, I don't even
keys
think we
either.
could save it, can we? You can't even hit the menu, can you?
Nah, it's not letting me. Escape's doing
Well,
nothing.
Let me see if I can like sort of like crash myself out of the game, and now.
Yeah, we'll try that out.
So I'm just gonna like close it out. How'd it go to start back up for you guys?
Not yet.
No.
What's up, Alec GT? How's
Still
it going?
says creating galaxy, waiting for player to connect.
Hello.
Which is, I mean, that's what it said at the beginning of the game, but that's when we were all forming up and what have you. Oh, wait, we're moving.
Oh boy.
I would take a save at this point. Have you not been able to hear me for a while?
No.
No.
I've been talking, and then I was like, "You're just ignoring me."
Oh no.
No. No, we have not been able to hear you.
Okay, that's right. I haven't used Discord before, so I don't know what happened.
Right. Hey, yes, they were asking about AIs taking over for players.
Okay, so yes, first of all, if like a game is full of 8 players, maybe there's like 3 AI, and like another player joins, then a player will should take over that AI company, and eventually, yes, if a player leaves for a period of time, then yep, an AI will take over.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling them that, I mean, at the moment it's going to be like a dumb AI, right? I mean, that's what we were talking about before, where it's not going to try to change anything that the player did.
Nice, Argentina.
It'll just pick up from where you are. It'll not know what you were intending to do, really. It'll just go, oh, you have this route, okay.
I see a lot of new names in the stream chat.
Also, I guess you didn't hear my bug reports then?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
What bugs did I spot? The planets are still rotating on the players, or on the remote clients.
Uh-huh.
And what else did I spot?
Is Hotjoin working at this point, Chris?
It doesn't look like it. We're back to frozen with creating galaxy, waiting for player to connect.
Did you take a save?
I did not. If you bail back out, I'll try and save it.
Yeah, let's try that. Hold on one second.
We can do a rehost. Might be the easiest idea.
Yeah, I know we've never tried a Hotjoin or a rehost this late in the game, so.
Well, I'm sure this is definitely good for spotting bugs and everything. It seems to be working out pretty well for catching stuff.
Yep.
Because I mean, aside from this,
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you guys haven't.
Saving.
Guys haven't had a chance to really like tear into multiplayer.
Yeah.
No. We've,
Right.
like I said, the biggest game that we've tested has been
it.
3.
3. I have created a save.
Okay. Do you want to rehost?
Yeah.
I should leave.
So you can actually save the game, and then if everybody jumps back in, you just start right back where you left off with your company and everything. Or that's how it should work.
It's the theory. So
If
let's.
you want to make a new lobby,
I'm
and
gonna
then
leave. And then I'm gonna see if I can rehost with the save file that I took. Multiplayer. Create game. No, that's not how we.
Yep. No, correct. And then do you see sort of on the left hand side, there's player difficulty, AI difficulty, and then if you swap, we see where it says new game.
Oh, yep. I see it, and I've chosen my save game.
Woo. And then it hasn't given me my company back, but oh well, it might eventually.
Wait, why did it rename mine back to Interstellar Transport? I'm Pinstar Parcels.
That hasn't quite worked. Leave it up. Try again.
There we go.
Oh, no name. I was doing pretty well, actually. I was in second place,
okay,
and I was
right.
creeping right up on first place very slowly. I was starting to pull ahead, and then my game crashed. Now we're trying to fix it. Log back in. Our server kind of
Sabouts, are you able to rejoin
game.
through here? There we go.
Yeah, it looks like it. So we'll see how this. I'd imagine this would actually work.
Yeah, since we're all doing it from sort of an initialization.
Yeah.
All right,
Unless, of course, it just doesn't generate for all of us then.
Well, yeah. We'll see how this works. Just need one more ready up, and we are ready to try it out.
Button was green.
Starting game.
Now, is it possible as well for two people to be in the same company and work together?
You know, we tested it and it accidentally worked. Oh no.
We are, well, we're paused here.
Got thrown back into the. You guys are all in the game already?
I'm in the game, but it's stuck on pause. I
Yeah.
can't unpause it.
Says I'm connecting still. What about everyone else?
Oh, it threw me back into the title screen actually.
Well,
Can we try one more time just for?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Happy
Okay,
to help
good.
diagnose all this.
Yeah, thank you.
When I do my video on this, I'll be clipping and trimming some of this later parts with us.
Yeah.
With the save file.
A little bit of trim would be appreciated.
No problem. I understand that.
Hopefully, a lot of this will be sorted out.
Yep.
Not gonna say all of it for sure, but
Well,
that's
multiplayer is a tricky beast. I mean,
Yeah.
like my wish of ranked multiplayer at EA launch is not gonna quite happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you look at you look at like Armello, you know, who I've been involved with them since they were in early access, and
well, 4 total.
They had multiplayer working because it's a multiplayer game at its core, but they didn't have anything ranked mode until many major content patches into it.
Right.
All right, starting game.
Did anybody else notice in the browse game section the other 2 games are still there?
Yep.
Okay.
We've been struggling with, so they do go away. It just
takes time.
Yeah, it looks like we're.
I can see your heads moving around, but we're not getting the galaxy.
Yeah, I can see you guys as well, which is actually different because before I couldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe the galaxy's still coming.
I mean, we could give it like a minute or two to load in. I mean, I'm not getting the waiting for players loading galaxy screen that I got before. It's just the normal screen here, but the game is set on pause, and me hitting the play button does nothing.
It might. I mean, you think it's probably got a lot to load in when you think about it.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
if I had to guess, I don't think this is actually doing anything though. Give it a little bit.
Somebody had asked me in the stream if there was ever going to be an option to maybe change the size of the scaling of the ships on the map.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Like if I had a smaller, much smaller ships, but like a little I don't know, almost like a speech bubble icon going off of them. Like this little tiny ship is blue, and then you could mouse over.
That's a
the
good point,
speech bubble
Pinstar. I didn't even Vanilla. I didn't even think about that.
What's actually on the ship?
So more of like a true to scale.
Yeah. That way you don't have
the ship model. You're saying?
Yeah. That way you don't have Earth blotted out by 15 ships flying around it.
Right. Yeah. That would actually be a pretty.
They're still scaling. A ship's changed. Oh, actually, the question I had wanted to ask and I almost forgot. What about mod compatibility? Is that something you guys plan on incorporating eventually?
Yep, we actually had ship models, ship mods, I should say, in.
Yeah, ship mods are in, but an actual modding tool is sort of still in the works. Well, I can like create like a thing like in the Unity and like upload it to like the Steam Workshop and stuff. And there's probably like 3 test chips sitting there. And then I can load it in and stuff. But yeah, the modding tool is sort of still in development.
Okay. And then one thing Vanilla pointed out when I logged into this, when I started the game here, I actually started it unpaused. So I went ahead and paused it because Pinstar mentioned he was paused. Is anybody else unpaused right now?
Yeah, it shows unpaused for me, but.
See, I'm paused here, and I can't unpause.
Would it make a difference if we all paused it? I know, probably not.
No, it's.
No, that's
just
I mean,
the
I
local
saw.
client.
Who's blue again? Is it you, Pinstar? No, it's Whiskers.
I'm teal.
Because I can only see empty worlds now. I can't see Whiskers when originally
I crashed out and
Yeah, it says
quickly-
Whiskers left.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
quickly
it, yeah.
trying to rejoin through the.
Cool. So yeah, I think definitely the biggest problems that we saw here, Chris, were the planets in the wrong positions, and then we got the here
Okay, I'm in
for people.
with editor. I've got all the errors.
Oh, you're in the editor. Okay. Oh, so okay, so you were able to take a screenshot of those errors or something.
Let me see what I'm getting.
I fixed the game on the fly. Nice.
I'm going to get out of the Steam and stats achievement errors, so obviously that's something to do with it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we can look at that offline if you just want to make sure you save those.
Yeah, I still have that MP save, and I mean I can grab the save itself and throw it into Discord, so you guys can download that file if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be good. Then we
some
can try to
dissections there.
rehost.
That's actually a really good idea. Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Let me exit the game here, and actually, let me make sure I can find that physical save file. See if I'm assuming it's in local files.
I actually honestly don't know. Chris, do you know where it is offhand?
I know where to get to it. If you do, it's in the app data % roaming folder, but how you get to it from Steam, I don't.
In local roaming?
Yeah, if you know how to get to your app data roaming folder, and then it's in the local low empty
Does
worlds.
anybody else in the stream have any questions? Because I'm going to keep asking questions until they're ready to go. Until they try to throw me out.
Let's see. App data.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Vanilla. We appreciate it. And really enjoy your video, by the way.
Yeah, local low.
That's where it is on mine.
Maybe this is something we can get together and do again. As it gets closer to launch, it's something I'll entertain to them as well.
Well, sorry there were a few bugs there. Hopefully next time we could focus more on trying to get each other up there and less on...
Yeah.
But... in a few more weeks we can give it another go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. What? So you said app data roaming, and then where within there?
Local. No, not roaming. Mine was in app data. Local low.
Yeah, app data local low empty worlds. Interstellar Transport Company.
I posted that in
there we
the
go.
Discord too. Yeah.
Game saves, and there's the save. Pulling that in there now.
Thanks so much.
There it is.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Happy
I was
to-
sort of focusing on Monopoly. No
All
name.
right. Well, I think we'll break it off from here. I've got some editing to do, and I'll do some intros and outros for my video and whatnot. And I'll probably do some single player stuff myself as well.
Cool.
All right. Well, good playing with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome.
We will definitely have to do this again another time.
I'm going to keep streaming so you guys don't have to.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
No problem. Have a good one.
Yep, see ya.
You too.
See ya.
Alright, so I disconnected from that there, but there we go. That was the game. We kind of with the multiplayer. I'm glad you guys got to ask questions and everything like that. Yeah, no name for the question you were asking. Focusing on Monopoly or just doing everything. I was actually focusing somewhat on a Monopoly. I was essentially starting out doing everything simply because I needed to make and generate early income. So I was moving around food, water, consumer goods, stuff like that. But then I switched over, or started the transition over to more rare resources and machinery, which is what I've been doing in my playthrough as I recorded it. And that seemed to have turned over a pretty good amount of money. Like, the difference is just astronomical. I mean, in my playthrough, it's like, to give you guys an example, general goods, which I guess you would consider food, water, consumer goods, and whatever the other one is, rare resources. Rare resources isn't as much general, but that was turning over probably like 200,000 in profit average. The other ones were like $1 million, so per ship. I try to split it half and half vanilla if I can get a ship. For example, like I prefer a ship to not. I want it to be making money both ways, so I kind of try to set it up to where each planet will get resources it needs. So if I do maybe half machineries, if I do like half machinery and I bring it to Luna, say, I'd like to pick something up from Luna and bring it to Earth, whether it's what's Luna got that's kind of useful, whether it be like raw materials or something. I try to like make it so that my ship is bringing goods both ways, because I find that like if I want to bring machinery to Luna, obviously I don't want to then pull machinery from Luna back to Earth, so I want my like raw materials and such. I want my ships going both way. Why don't we go ahead, since we're still streaming and people are still here, and a lot of people joined and it ended up crashing, so we didn't get a chance to really do much. We'll go ahead and jump to a single player game for a bit. Not my game, but we'll actually try a custom game, because I haven't done the custom games yet, and the developer said that was pretty cool. So random starting system, galaxy size, we'll bump that up a little bit for fun. Stars, we'll bump that up a little bit. Man, that can go all the way up to 300. That's insane. Do you guys want to see like 300? I feel like my computer would catch fire and explode and probably like maim everyone in the room if I did that. Starting cash, I like to put that, I mean I could put that high, but I like to put that low because that's kind of how I like to play. Wow, there's really no good way to set that. That might be something worth bringing up to them. Like, I'm going to start out with 240,127 instead of a round number. Wow, you can start with a loan too. That's kind of interesting. Huh, starting with a loan. I guess if you just want like an added difficulty. New governments, yes, to an extent. I think it still all falls under sort of like what Earth's government would be, but colonies do start up after a while. The developer mentioned vanilla. He was going to make the gap difficulty a lot more intense. He said right now it wasn't as much as they thought. They were somewhat shocked when me and then I think there was some other people ended up like blowing right through the unfair difficulty, because really they said the biggest crutch for unfair difficulty was the starting cash, and obviously like that wasn't an issue after like the first episode of me playing. So within the first 20 minutes I had already pretty much balanced out my cash to the point where I was pretty much neck and neck with the AI. So I mean, obviously everybody would like to see a smarter AI when it comes to, you know, harder difficulty levels, but that's not usually a thing. So usually it's got to be all artificial stuff, and yeah, it's easy to make up the cash gap. They mentioned a couple different things. I think it'd be cool if, like, say, you start on unfair difficulty and you start with, like, a, you know, not a ridiculously high loan, but you start with, like, a really high loan that you got to pay a lot of interest off on. So, like, at the same time that you're trying to, and I'm going to send all this to them because I still got their Discord names and stuff, but, like, say, no, I don't think AI gets a price advantage at all. That doesn't seem to be the case. Because I can set like AF difficulty to unfair here, player difficulty or whatever. Yeah, Tree Sniper, that's an awesome idea. You know, I should be writing this stuff down. I wish you guys were bringing this up in the stream. I should be writing this stuff down and then sending that to them. That's a really good idea. I like the different governments starting up. Like, what if you could take advantage of, like, a rebellion? So, say, like, there was one, obviously, government in the future, right? So, there's one government, and then eventually, like, other planets try to rebel, and maybe you could take advantage of that. Maybe they add, like, another item into the game, like war resources or something like that, guns, tanks. I don't know. I don't think that's the kind of game that they wanted. But there's no reason that you still can't take part. So, like, the game would be cool with random events and such like that. And it's not, I'm not saying turn the game into, like, a war game, but you play as, like, a off-the-side kind of, you know, you're a company, you're a separate entity. So maybe, like, a planet tries to rebel or something and tries to become independent from whatever, the Earth Empire, whatever you want to call it. And you could take advantage of that. Like, you know, obviously now that they're breaking away, you can obviously choose to maybe support that planet, but you might lose reputation with other planets that are part of, like, the Earth Empire. But it's like risk versus reward, because you can make a lot of money transporting goods to the people who are trying to rebel, because now that they're rebelling, they're cut off from most easy access resources from, like, Earth and its large monopoly it has on resources, and you could make a lot of cash. That's a pretty cool idea. Like, random events like that, which I think the developers would think is pretty neat. And then what was the other one? Oh, a starting loan during a harder difficulty level. So if you start in unfair, say you start with like $500,000 in loans or something crazy like that. And then you got to pay them off. So on top of, you know, starting with a lot less cash on hand, you're also trying to pay off a pretty high interest loan. Maybe you start out with a bad credit score too, because the game actually has credit scores and everything in it. So, okay, we're going to go ahead. Why don't we add a few AI companies, because why not? Actually, you know what? Let's not. Let's stick with the 2 to 4. 2, 3, 4, yeah, just 3 other, because I think adding a lot, they said, actually makes the game easier somehow. Because they had mentioned unfair difficulty having less AIs, which I don't necessarily agree with, because I like playing real big games. You know, I want to max out my AIs on unfair, so that way it feels like, you know, it's a really full empire and there's a lot happening. Let's go ahead and start a game. See how we can do. Yeah, exactly, Vanilla. It can kind of bounce around and everything, you know, because with the reputation system already in the game, there really is a good, and already kind of like a baseline for being able to have maybe different type of government or political stuff going on, where planets somewhat rebel or don't agree with other planets, and then it can be special events essentially, and you can take advantage of them. And like I said, you're like, all right, you know, I'm gonna send resources towards, you know, the planet that's rebelling, but then I'm going to lose reputation with the planet that they're obviously trying to rebel from. Yeah, more AI equals faster development, which makes it easier. Exactly. I don't know if I necessarily like that, cutting down the AI to increase the unfair difficulty, because like I said, I like big games. Yeah, No Name. I can see how maybe you start off with the competition more higher, but I don't know if I necessarily like that, because the game's supposed to sort of take place with, like, the first colony on Luna and everything. So everybody kind of starts off at the same year. If there was already, like, routes and stuff, you could start in a later year, I guess. Yeah, Zorbeltis, you're right. Zorbeltis is on Twitch, everybody, by the way, but he said even Transport Tycoon had violence, the aliens and bombers, though that was way too simplistic, and it was pretty simplistic in Transport Tycoon. I'd like to see something a little bit more complicated here, where, you know, there's a little bit of political stuff going on. Maybe some planets are disagreeing with each other or something. Did the game just crash on me again? Am I having some bad luck right now? Yeah, more AI should definitely be part of a higher difficulty. I don't think that... Wow, I actually had it crash again. I hope that it's not my game that's broken. Let me try running it again. That was odd. I'll try just the default game, so that way we can see if it's maybe it's my game file is trashed, which would suck because then that would mean that my save is probably gone. I don't think I put it at 300, right? I think I only put it at 150, but maybe 150. You know, 150 is actually a lot, really, if you think about it. We'll just do single player. We'll just do a predefined game, then go unfair. We'll pick gray. We'll stick with interstellar transport, just so we can get in and mess with some stuff. There it goes. So yeah, maybe it was just a predefined. Well, hold on. Maybe is it gonna work? Yeah, they said it put save games, I think, in the document folder, so I'll try to pull my save out if I have to reinstall the game. Nope, there we go. We're good. We're in. So that makes me happy. There is this weird bug where sometimes you'll randomly glitch like way away, but here we are. Alright, so we got a pretty good star system here. Alright, so what do we got? It seems to all be the same for the most part every time you jump in. Business tourists. Obviously they need high demand colonists. You know what, Tree Sniper? That's another great question. So FTL travel. I would imagine yes, but eventually you have to work up to ships that can do that. And yeah, I don't know if you can FTL between planets. I haven't gotten that far yet. Eventually, just like Transport Tycoon, as the game progresses, better ships are just naturally unlocked with the progression of time. So I would imagine that eventually FTL is a thing. I mean, there's no way you could foot slog it like we have been, you know, with rockets across systems. It would literally never be profitable. Like, not even at all. Okay, we're going to set a route up. First, yeah, we're just going to first do a route right from Earth. Okay, let's focus on a strictly... I got 175,000, which really I think is enough. Let's focus on a strictly just machine and rare resource. I don't actually know. I'd imagine it's 2060, Vanilla. I think I'm right around 2060 as well. So if it's just going to be rare resources and machinery, then the only thing we do need to make sure we're doing is we're turning this off here, because rare resources is grouped in with that. Right? And we're going to pick up rare resources and bring them to Earth, and we're going to pick up machinery and bring it to Luna. So that's easy enough, and we can just put that here. This is how I like to kind of mark things, because I can keep track. Machinery, rare resource, that's kind of the best way, you know, or rare resource like that. And I basically just like to, because I try to keep things a little simple, because if it gets very cluttered, it's a little overwhelming because of the way the ship screen's designed. Like, it's really difficult to manage your route. If you let it blow up out of proportion, it's very difficult to manage everything. We obviously got to start with cheaper ships, because we don't have a whole lot of money. We don't want just one ship going, so let's do half and half with a little bit more emphasis on machinery, because it's not perfectly even. Just a little bit more. And we'll get 4 of them. We'll go ahead and unpause the game, obviously, and speed it up. Just get 4 of them and see how we start turning over on profit right off the bat. That's a good idea, or a good point. I think that the lithium crystals probably does involve FTL. That does make sense. I mean, what else would the lithium crystals be for, right? Does it say? The lithium crystals are produced by the dilithium crystal mines. They are produced only by planets with dilithium crystal availability and are modified by a planet's development. Transport this to planets with dilithium refineries to convert it into interstellar fuel. So there you go. I would imagine that's what that is. Go ahead and buy one. Oh, I meant to buy one separate of this one. I kind of want to get rid of it. It's bothering me. I know that it doesn't matter, but that's fine. I'll just leave it. Not gonna waste the money, even if it's like bothering me how it is. I gotta get one on Luna actually. So I don't like gray. It's too easy to... It blends in too much, I think. No name. It actually doesn't, but that's something the developers are going to change. Hey, Zerbeltis, welcome to YouTube Gaming. That was... Hey, I don't blame you, man. I actually don't even watch YouTube Gaming. I watch Twitch myself, but... YouTube Gaming is the best way for people that are subscribed to my channel to see that I'm streaming, so that's why I do kind of prefer it. Yeah, no name. To answer your question, they said that right now, if you subsidize a machine factory, it will essentially raise production of machinery on the whole planet. Therefore, technically, any other company can pick up the machinery that you're subsidizing from the factory, and they can transport it and make money off of it, which everybody thinks is crap. So what they're going to do is they're going to make it so if you subsidize a factory, then the hangar is your space. And if you subsidize a factory, then machinery that the factory produces will go into your hangar, and you'll be the only one that can move that, which will make it a lot more convenient to do things like monopolize a resource if that's what you want to get in the game and do. Kind of like Transport Tycoon, where, like, I know when I played that game, I would be like, all right, I'm going to focus on coal, or I'm going to focus on moving passengers, and that's what I did, and that's what I was best at. You know, and I wouldn't drift into other stuff. I was just going to be like the best, you know, damn coal mover or something like that. Yeah, I think you're right, Tree Sniper. I think that you shouldn't get all of it because, again, you're just subsidizing the factory. You're not necessarily building and purchasing the factory. You're just paying to have it built and somebody else operates it. It doesn't come out of your own operating costs. So maybe, like, each factory gets sort of a I don't want to say because that's kind of overcomplicating it, not a reputation system, but maybe, like, you know, if the factory's built, 70% of the machinery it produces goes into your own personal hangar, the other 30% goes into open stock. What's up, Dean 2? How's it going? Oh, Mars, yeah, it's way out there all alone and sad. Where the heck's that ship going? Did somebody already colonize another planet? No. Oh, he's gone. Okay, it must have been a glitch. Are we making any money? It looks like we're going broke here. Oh, because my ships probably aren't. Well, they are built. Oh, I haven't put them on routes. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna go broke. Don't worry, it'll hopefully start really quickly. We gotta wait till each ship's sort of ready to go. There we go. The transit start. Of course, goes to make money, drops right in the maintenance. There we go. Though we made some money there. Yeah, exactly. Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea, No Name. I'm going to write that down. So maybe you can, your hangar space, you can build hangars on the planet. If the hangars are full, then maybe the extra resources that are subsidized from the subsidized machinery factory you build drop into public circulation or whatever you want to say. Yeah, exactly, Vanilla. You know how it goes, man. You do YouTube. You do YouTube. It's so easy to get caught up talking and everything that you completely forget to do things because you're, you know, explaining stuff. But we're pulling in money now. I mean, I'm not entirely too concerned about it. If we take a look at finances, I can't imagine I haven't really fallen that far behind him. Oh, yeah, I have. Holy crap. I thought I was the green for a second because I'm used to my playthrough. I'm way far behind, but we'll catch up. Oh man, yeah. How many of you guys are going to get the game when it comes out? I mean, I got to admit, like, it's a pretty cool game. I'm very excited for, because I know the developers are working so hard at it too. I know that they're going to add a lot of really cool stuff to the game. And they were talking about all the cool stuff that they're thinking about. I like the idea of being able to change the size of the ships a little bit, because they're all right, but it would be cool to get them maybe a little bit smaller if you like a more realistic approach, so the ships aren't the size of the planet. But I can get why they're like this if you want to see them. But I wouldn't mind making the ships smaller so long as I can see the triangles. There we go, money coming in now. Now we can work on Mars. They need machinery, obviously, a huge demand for machinery. Colonists, not so much, right? So we've got Earth, and we could pull machinery from Earth to Mars. We're bringing it to Luna. We're bringing rare resources from Luna to Mars, or Luna to Earth. Mars doesn't really have rare resources. Oh yeah, they absolutely deserve for this thing to blow up, and I really think it will blow up, Vanilla, because this is kind of like what people have wanted for a long time, is a transport tycoon in space. which a lot of people are trying to say that it's not like Transport Tycoon, but it is and it isn't. There's a lot of similarities. I mean, really, I think it is like Transport Tycoon. I don't know how you can really say it's not. I mean, there's obviously inspirations. As you don't even like upgrade your own ships. As the years progress, you unlock better tech. I mean, that's Transport Tycoon right there. And then, I don't know, moving goods around. There's a few things that are different, but they have to be different because Transport Tycoon in space on a mechanical level just wouldn't even work. No, travel's not. Well, no, technically there is Newtonian elements. I mean, right? There's Newtonian elements because there's dilithium crystal and there's dilithium crystal and there's dilithium fuel, which is not a real thing. So I would imagine travel can be Newtonian eventually. Yeah, I mean, the game is playable. Multiplayer is a little buggy, obviously, if some of you guys saw, but the game is definitely playable. That's a good idea, too, No Name. Mass drivers. See, spaceport on Mars has already been upgraded because everybody's... Oh, that ship broke up right out there. Okay, so now we're pulling in money. We can actually take a look at our ships and see... Let's go ahead and get Mars going, right? We can slow this down just a little bit for a second. And we'll get Mars going. So if we want to do another route, right? New route from Earth to Mars. And what we'll do is on Earth, we're going to pick up machinery, obviously. So we just have to worry about that. On Mars, we're going to pick up raw material. We're not going to worry about any of that. So if we want to make some more ships, we can now buy some of the bigger ones. We'll do machinery and raw materials. And order 2 of those, and I gotta change those. The name of that. Because then it's going to be machinery and raw materials. Interesting. To get the change, I actually have to change the routes. Go to no route, save it, and save it back. To get the change in here. Yeah, ships just feel like they float through space. You build a huge transport ship just because you can. Commercial shipping in Aurora 4X, man. I want to play Aurora 4X so bad. I need to play that game. Like, I really need to play that game. So we probably should get, let's see, how many gates do we have on Earth? See, gray is a really painful color to play as because I can't see. There, I had ships waiting to be, so now we're good. Just at least a bunch of gates on Earth, which I think is what we needed to do. We probably got to do that on Luna here, too. Yeah, we definitely got to do that in Luna, so I got a little bit distracted. There we go. Now that should help money coming in. It's C sharp, tree sniper. Oh, tree sniper. And yeah, I'm gonna do a series on Aurora 4X. Once the new version for C sharp comes out, because I want to make sure the lag issues and everything are fixed. And Yeah, I want to make sure the lag issues are fixed, and the end game death thing, where like eventually the game just dies because it becomes so large it just can't operate. So I'm excited for that to all be fixed. Yeah, No Name, you like games like that, you're gonna love Aurora 4X. I didn't even think to tell you about that game when you were asking in the Discord channel. Okay, we'll go ahead and start these up. There we go. Somebody just nailed 40,000. That's what I need to be seeing, is numbers like that. But we're playing on a harder difficulty, and as obviously playing is like moving one resource around in sort of a Monopoly kind of company, we're gonna be a little bit slower up and coming, but in the long run, I think we're gonna be making a lot more money. So, oh, Distant Worlds Universe is my jam. I love that game. I've got 2 series on that game now on my channel, hopefully with a 3rd one coming here soon. I would like a 3rd one, because I love Distant Worlds Universe. Like, that game is just everything to me. Yeah, I know it's on sale. I saw that. Somebody asked in the Discord, they're like, hey, Distant Worlds Universe is on sale for 17 bucks. Should I get it? I'm like, are you crazy? I paid like 60 bucks for the game. Yes, buy it. 17 bucks is a steal for that game. Like, it's well worth that. It's worth, I mean, I paid 60 bucks for it. I thought it was worth 60. I have like 70 hours in the game, which isn't a whole lot, but I feel it's 70 bucks or 60 bucks worth, and you could buy Call of Duty for 60 bucks and get, like, you know, 20 hours of enjoyment out of that game. So if I could subsidize on Luna something that produces more rare resources, that would be awesome. Subsidize rare resource mine. We don't have the money for it, but when we do get the money for it, we will do that. Oh yay, MT Worlds is here. Yes. Now you guys can tell him all those really cool ideas that you had. Which game are we talking? Aurora 4? Yeah, Tree Sniper's got it. Aurora 4X of Distant Worlds. If somebody wants to post a link to both of them in the chat, you can do that. Post a link to Aurora 4X and then a link to the Distant Worlds universe. Wow, actually, in my playthrough I'm doing on my channel, I've never seen this many ships bouncing back and forth between Mars. Mars is going to get pretty developed pretty quickly at this rate. I'm pushing raw materials as much as I can. How many ships, though, do I have? I don't think a whole lot. Just the 2. They're still in transit, too. They haven't even made it yet. Or they have. Where are they? Yeah, Zerbeltis. I think that in the C#. Oh, link's not allowed? Well, that shouldn't be like that. Let me see something real quick. Maybe I can post a link. You know what? I can probably post it. Yeah, MT Worlds is one of the devs. If you guys got questions, now would be a great time to ask. Well, I'm sure he's a pretty busy guy, but he might have a few minutes to answer some, or yeah, because we were chatting in here. We were chatting here about some of the cool ideas people had. I'm gonna link to Distant Worlds Universe real quick for people who were asking about it. Make sure you guys. Or maybe not. Here's where I'll do it. There's Distant Worlds Universe. Yeah, yeah, no name. There you go. Just throw it. Just throw it in their faces. This is what we talked about. Okay, I wanted to quickly go on Luna then and help rare resource production. Oh, reputation's too low. Oh, 74. What's it say I need a reputation of? Does it say? It does not. Tree Sniper, don't always trust the review ratings. You'd be surprised if you go through and read a lot of the reviews for Distant Worlds Universe. It's usually things like the game is too complicated or the graphics are stupid. So I play games on my channel that have like 44%, 50% positive reviews, and I still have a lot of fun and everybody enjoys the playthroughs because sometimes it's people complain about some of the stupidest crap, I swear to God. Like, the biggest thing I've seen for Distant Worlds Universe for complaints is the way the game looks. But, like, for those of us who are spreadsheet, gods, we don't care what the game looks like. I mean, I like spreadsheets in space, so... Haha, see? So he is planning on doing different factions and such. Nice. We talked about that. Oh, Smith, what's up? Is it late for you? I think usually when I stream... Well, isn't it when I usually stream at like 10 o'clock it's late? Luna's doing good on rare resources. Empty Worlds, we actually had talked, when we talked about it, we talked about how cool it would be if, like, say a planet was going to rebel or something against what would be considered the Earth government. And you could say, like, obviously they're going to need certain resources that they're not going to have now because they're trying to rebel from the Earth government. So you could make a lot of money transporting the resources to them with your company, but then maybe you'll take, like, a reputation hit from planets that fall under Earth government. Simply because you are transporting goods to a planet. So it's like a risk versus reward thing. Nice. Oh, the other thing, too, well, I'll let you, I don't want to roll over what everybody's bringing up right now, but the other thing that we had brought up for unfair difficulty is maybe the player starts out with, like, a certain loan. So maybe they start out with, like, a $300,000 loan, but they don't actually have the money for it. So they still start out with $170,000 or $150,000 on cash on hand, and then they start with a $300,000 loan that they had just for whatever reason had, and it has a whatever interest rate, and maybe they start with like a lower credit score, and then they've got to, on top of trying to build up, they've got to try to put some money towards paying off a larger loan, which would kind of add a little bit. It would kind of add a little bit to the Oh, does it have loans already? Then maybe it don't. Hey, I'm on unfair right now, so why don't we check? Maybe it has loans that I didn't even notice. Oh yeah, I've got a little bit of a loan, it looks like. Repay. Yeah, I guess I started with a 73,000. I'm playing an unfair right now, so yeah, that was it. That's all I had was that $73,000 loan. But that was really low. Like, I could have paid that off within the first, like, 10 minutes or so. Yeah, because, like I said, I'm playing unfair right now, actually. Alright, I need more gates, probably. In fact, I haven't even... So, see, I'm pulling in a... Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. 434 Gaming. I didn't even think about that. So technically, I was paying it. But I didn't. The fact that I didn't even know I had a loan, like it didn't even affect me enough that I knew I had it. Really, which isn't a big deal. But we're all just trying to brainstorm maybe ideas for. I know that there's. So I have a credit rating of C right now. Speaking of ships, and then you can see right now. Okay, so this is interesting. How did I mess this up? Earth to Mars. These ships have not moved. Earth to Mars. I have. Do I have? So it says I have ships on Mars, but they're just not. I've got 2 ships that don't seem to be doing anything. Let me try to change it to here real quick and see what that does. We'll hit stop. Start. Oh. Yeah, I got 2 ships here stuck in limbo for some reason. Okay, let me see if I can mess with these. Yeah, these ships are not doing anything. I don't know if maybe they... They've got 20 machinery, 20 raw materials. They should be picking up machinery at Earth. I don't even know where they are, I don't think, right? Because I can't see where they are. It just says they're in transit. I don't think it says where they are. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try selling them, I guess. Let's order duplicate ships of these then, at least. There's center camera on them. There's a button for them. Oh, crap. Oh, center camera. I didn't even... Well, it's too late now. I got rid of them. Let me... I got to make more of those with the same route anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and make more and see what happens. Because I can go right to purchase new ship. It was the... Well, we might go with it. Now that we got the cash, obviously, for it, we'll go for a bigger ship. So we'll get the Space Bus D520, since that's going to make more sense for hauling large amounts of resources anyways. We were doing machinery to Mars, and then raw materials back to Earth. More machinery to Mars, less raw materials back to Earth, maybe? Nah, we'll do it 50-50. That makes sense. So, yeah, so this would be Earth to Mars. Machinery, raw materials. We'll order 2 of them. And we'll see how that. We'll see if that works this time around. Sorry, when I take my cursor off onto another monitor, it ends up pulling the game. Okay, let's see if we can subsidize rare resources on the moon, because that's what I wanted to do. Is there a way... Is there a way for me to know how much reputation I need? Oh, you can turn that off in options? Nice. Graphics, I'm guessing. Controls. Disable edge. Good. Nice. That's a lot better. Because I use the WASD keys for moving around anyway, so I do that for my playthrough too. That'll help me a lot. Yeah, is there a way for me to know how much reputation I need to build something. Like, say I want to build subsidized resources. I don't think I see anyway. Just as my reputation's too low. I've got a company reputation of 77, so I guess I don't really know. Obviously, I could build a local office. Oh, see, my reputation's too low for an office, too, so maybe I'm just doing something horribly wrong. Buy all these gates out. Obviously, I need way more. I already know I need way more gates on Earth. Just buy a bunch of them. I've got so much cash in hand. Oh, based on how many buildings I have there? So how would I... So if I want to build an office here, right? Or anything for that matter, what's the best way? Still at 77. So you can see how much you need. Nice, that would be good. Just so I can see, you know, because it says, like, I want to build an office here. I want to build an office here, but I just don't have the reputation to do it. I don't know how much reputation I need. Now, deliver what they need and don't let us starve, and that's how you build up reputation. Makes sense. So right now I'm just moving machinery around, which is maybe why I'm not getting as much reputation with planets. But I'm just making mad cash. If I look at reports right now, income, I'm pretty much already past the AI. I'm close. We're getting up there, right? Oh, I'm not green again. Duh. So actually I am winning, ain't I? Or at least I'm ahead. This guy's like right there. Yeah, Sarah Smith, I think the game was going to be $20. Obviously, Empty Worlds will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think $20 with a 10% discount during launch. Alright, lots of machinery there. Yep. That's an awesome deal for this game. It came from well worth $20. Especially with all the plans you guys have for the future. I mean, a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool stuff coming. Alright, so what do we got here? Obviously. Okay, so interesting. Let's see. So these are the two from Earth to Mars, right? So the Earth to Luna ones are at work. These are the ones that we were having difficulty with. So let's start just one of them and see what it does. We can put the camera on it, so center camera. Okay, so it's moving. It's on its way right now. So we may have fixed the issue. May have fixed that issue. Any other planets? Yes, the Titan, right? Or no, Europa. This big ship? I think that's a repair ship, right? I don't know where it's going. There's another one here. Well, there's ships here that broke down, so maybe there. See, these ships are just wandering, or they're just sitting in space while the planets move away, right? Because they're wandering away or something. Yeah, I think these are repair ships that they're supposed to technically go out and fix those broken down ships, but I mean, that's a long trek, so that's going to be a long time before they get there and do anything. See, that the ship's not making any... Okay, it's still heading there, so we'll see. It's on its way. We're going to know right now. Yes, exactly. You might want a maintenance hangar on Europa for that reason. Which actually, putting like a maintenance hangar on Mars or something would be a good idea. Lost in space, right? Yeah. We could do a local office here if we wanted to. Might as well. We got plenty of money for it. And we can build a maintenance hangar here too, since it is the kind of ship it is. So is that work then? Yeah, that works. So whatever broke these earlier, they're not broke now, and looks like it's going to make good money. So Exactly, Earth and Mars. So that was the interesting thing, right? So in my playthrough I'm doing on my channel right now, Earth and Mars started off pretty far, so they weren't very profitable. In the beginning of this particular game that I started, Earth and Mars started pretty much next to each other, so it was very profitable early in the game to move resources to Mars. But as we start to pull away from each other, as you can see, a lot longer to traverse back and forth, so the profitability is actually going to drop, which is pretty cool. That was actually a really good question. Is MT still in here? Peter had a pretty good question about... Yeah, nice. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it being gimmicky. You know, certain ways. There's probably a right and a wrong way to do it, right? I mean... Look at all the money we're making. Let's go to Luna. So can I build anything here yet? Reputation keeps dropping because we're not moving goods they need. Okay, let's look at Luna. And obviously they need machinery, but they really need food. Well, we could make some ships for moving food just to grow planets. I think that having a perfect monopoly doesn't really work if you want planets to grow. Yeah, there's space pirates in the game. You'll see things come up here saying that space pirates are attacking certain ships. In the log up here. Let me see if I can find one. Well, maybe not. Yeah, right there. Pirates attacked and were warded off by the crew of ship 35 owned by Esta. And then a subsidy is actually being offered for colonists to live to Mars, which is something maybe kind of worth taking advantage of. Looks like I've got plenty of hangar space to keep it up. We're definitely going to subsidize a bunch of machinery factories here if we can. We'll just get Earth pumping out machinery like it's cool. Because I'm transporting... I'm transporting as many rare resources as I can there. Which actually reminds me, might as well go ahead and... Oh, Venus is right next to us. Oh man, subsidize. So go ahead and subsidize Venus right off the bat and get a colony going. They're going to want certain goods at some point. I like where Venus is right now. I can launch rockets there, maybe throw a bunch of food and pops at it or something. Let me see, purchase new ship. We could just launch a bunch of Neptune rockets with food or something. Oh crap, we gotta give them all routes. I shouldn't have done it like that. Now they don't have any routes assigned. Earth to Venus. Obviously, I want them to bring everything except for rare resources. Everything else can go. Oh, medium size in order to send repair ships off. Small ones, only repair ships that have landed are still useful, but not going to fix the ones stranded in space. Good to know. I actually have a factory or a small maintenance shed here somewheres. And I would like to upgrade that to medium then, so that way, because Mars is going to get farther and farther away over time. Go. Is there a way for me to mass click on ships or not yet? So technically I can't even click on these if I want to. So they're all kind of just dead. Because I'd have to go through them manually, which isn't a big deal. Oops. I do see that I can kind of click. No, Venus. Venus. Oh, Venus has such a high. I really like Venus. I really like Venus because that's a ton of rare resources there. Like, Venus has a massive amount of rare resources. So say I go to Venus, right? I send all these rare resources back to Earth. Earth produces machinery with it. I ship that out to other places. That's kind of like my thinking right there. Now, obviously, I wish I could buy both gates, but I can't. Because like he said, so you can see here, company reputation. I've got 99.99% reputation because I subsidized the colonization here. And I can't take the last gate, so I can only take the one. I can still get rare resources without the mine, right? Or no? No! Oh, no! Oh, Venus. My beloved Venus. That's alright. We'll find another one. I'm still going to send all this off because I've already built them and they'll make money. Only produced with the mine. Okay, good to know. So I should build rare resource mines on the moon. There, so I don't even think that's producing any money. I don't even think they're shipping. Is it not producing any money? I guess not. Why is that? It's moving food and consumer goods. No more building slots. Oh wait, there's one. Oh, that's right, I can't because my reputation's too low. At least they have a large one here. Okay, another planet with rare resources. Raw material availability, Mercury, but no rare resources. These planets are pretty far away, so it wouldn't really be worth it just yet. The lithium crystal, though. Oh, empty worlds. One thing that was brought up that I don't think I've seen brought up again was FTL travel. Is that a thing that's eventually... I'd imagine as technology progresses, that's something that eventually pops up. All raw materials. Triton has rare resources. Wait a second. Where the heck is Pluto? Why is there no Pluto? Why? Pluto is a planet. FTL only available for interstellar travel. Makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, no Pluto. Sasmith, it's not a planet. How dare you, Sasmith? Pluto deserves to be a planet just like everybody else. Wasn't Pluto actually reclassified as a planet? Like, sounds like an episode of Rick and Morty in here. Nice. Rick and Morty is my jam. Pluto is too darn small. Oh, come on. But Pluto could have, like, the best resources on it. Pluto could just be, like, a floating rock of rare resources or dilithium. Wait, you can make Pluto a whole... Pluto is a dilithium crystal. Scientists didn't know it until in the future when they landed the first ship on there and they realized that the entire floating rock that is Pluto is just one big dilithium crystal. It's a special event in the game that can only trigger like it only triggers like maybe 20%, and then Pluto's like 100% dilithium crystal availability. But yeah, to be a random event. I approve. See, look at random event that triggers. Scientists to dragon glass. Fair enough. Oh, I got one. How's our Earth to Mars ships doing? They're okay. They're turning money. Not a profit, that's for sure. Those ships are way more expensive to build than what they're turning over. But to Luna, everything's pretty much fine. But since we're not moving food, I don't think we're getting reputation, right? So we know Venus won't do us any good unless we move food to it. That's all it's really good for. Reputation's going down. I guess we can make some ships that transport just food. We'll use these types of ships so I can kind of keep track. Food and water, right? Oops. We could do food and water. I didn't even know I could do that. Now I know. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. I can see if Pluto would be so far out. Yeah, so all food, right? So I'm bringing food to Luna, all right? And I guess I can bring liquid there, and I'll just transport raw material back, which means I'll do it like this. Just put no route for now. We'll order 4 of them. So Earth to Luna. On Earth, we want them to pick everything up, obviously, except for rare resources. And on Luna, we want them to only pick up rare resources, so none of this. And raw material. Oh, they can't because I didn't equip them, so just rare resources. We'll sign those. I'm really just doing this because I'm hoping it'll help raise reputation. Oh, we can get rid of this. Oh, wait. I'm already learning a ton right now about the game, just playing like this. So we're doing liquids. Okay, actually we'll just put food, and that kind of incorporates consumers good in liquids to me, so that, and then from Luna to Earth, we're bringing back more rare resources, I guess. Nice, people moving out and about now. A lot of people starting to move to Europa. Rare, IO has. Let's see, where's Titan? What's that got? Raw materials and lithium crystal availability, 98%. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. Holy crap! Look at the actual shadow from the sun there. That's cool. I don't think I want to subsidize Titan per se. Maybe. Got the money if I wanted to. Just start getting the lithium crystal, because that would be useful. 2071. That's good to know. You know what? Yeah, we're going to do this, actually. We're going to subsidize this. And we're going to make a route that will move the lithium crystal between Titan and pretty much everywhere else. And I actually want it to start at Titan when the time comes. And I want one that goes to Earth. And I want it to pick up the lithium crystal and the lithium fuel if it's available. Not worried about the other stuff. So just do this. And I don't want it to pick up any food, consumer goods. Rare resources, I can pick them up if they're available. On Earth, I want it to pick up food. I just don't want it to pick up rare resources. And then obviously, none of those. There. We can set up the other ones later. I'll set up refineries on Earth then, or should I set up refineries on Titan? Okay, how about this then? So would it make more sense to set up refineries on Titan, turn it into fuel, and then move the fuel and not even bother moving the crystals? That kind of makes sense, right? Because I'll just do that then. There'll be no point in moving the lithium crystals to Earth. %, development is needed for full output of either a mine or refinery, so keep that in mind. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so maybe more beneficial to move the lithium crystals to some place that's more developed, right? Like Mars. And then on Mars, I build the lithium refineries? Mars... Maybe. Mars is not really good for much else. But it kind of makes sense just to do it right on Titan. I mean, eventually Titan will get... you know, a high development. It's going to happen eventually, right? It's going to happen as long as the game keeps running. So I want to subsidize the lithium crystal mines. So let's try this just because I want to see what happens, right? So if I do, like, say, some mines here. I do 2 mines, and then I do 2 refineries. Because I'm just going to throw the cash, because why not? Right? So if we do it like that. Oh, no name. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, I could have... Yeah, that makes sense, actually. But too late now. I already pulled the trigger on that one. Okay, so let's change this then. So if we want Titan to bring... Well, who needs the lithium fuel, though? I mean, really, is anybody... So interstellar travel obviously consumes the lithium fuel, so we don't have interstellar travel for another 20 years, so... Crap. Yeah, so no name, yeah, you were 100% right. That's definitely the best way to do it. You are a transport company, not a fuel company. I'm moving fuel now. Interstellar transport. I transport fuel. I could technically demolish it. Obviously, I don't make the money from that. So at this point, it's just better to keep running with what I'm doing. What's up, Hated Gamer? How's it going? Yeah, so I could just keep running with... I'm just going to... But yeah, that was a really good idea. So, like, obviously, move the lithium crystal to one planet, turn it into fuel, move it to another. No name. You technically can't own all of the spaceports. The slots. Yeah. It's physically impossible because you need to have a reputation of 100, and you can't have a reputation of 100. And that's basically, and I understand that mechanic, it makes sense. It prevents you from obviously being able to completely own a planet, because that would be a little, you know, it fights the snowball effect. Because if you were to get enough money that you could subsidize planets and buy all the gates out, then you could just start subsidizing every planet and buying the gates out. I mean, yeah, I don't see why you can't own all but one, right? I don't think it scales. Hey, the gamer, this game is essentially it's like a tycoon game. You move goods around, and you're just trying to buy low, sell high. There's a lot more that goes into it outside of that, but it's not out yet. It comes out August 16th. This is just kind of an early preview of it. Oh, 99% reputation. You can own all but one. Ha! So you can have pretty much a monopoly on a planet. Alright, so... people are heading to Titan, which is good. Or at least supplying them with liquids. Liquids, okay. Yeah, it really is like open TTD in space. It's more than that, obviously, but this isn't making any profit. Yeah, we need to change these around, right? So we don't want to pick up the lithium crystal. We want to pick up the lithium fuel. On Titan, pick up the lithium fuel. And then not pick up anything else. On Earth, we want to pick up everything but lithium fuel and crystals. We might as well pick up crystals if they're there and bring them to the refineries. Not really sure what I just clicked on. Okay, that was odd. I don't know what that was there. Look at that lifetime profit, 6.2 million. Spaceport Mercury has been upgraded. There we are in income. And company net worth actually is still neck and neck. Yeah, I'd say your net... I mean, I just use the reports and charts as sort of a determination for income, company net worth, and such. so I can track and see, you know, if I feel like I'm doing better than other people. I think that's kind of the victory, which actually, yeah, absolutely. Let me pull up the finances real quick. Not anymore, Hated Gamer. Originally, we were doing a multiplayer game earlier, and we were all kind of trying to build up our companies and whatnot, but we had a... my game actually ended up crashing, and then we couldn't get the load back up, so I just... But we had done it for about an hour and a half. Go out a few months, absolutely. Let's go to 180, or we can even go to a year. That's obviously machinery is the moneymaker, and that's what I'm doing right now. So in my playthrough I'm doing on my channel, I do the same exact thing where I actually kind of, I don't know if it's actually gaming the system, but if I monopolize and just machinery fair, and that's what I focus on is just machinery and rare resources, I could turn over like just a ridiculous amount of money. Because what I essentially do is I just transport, yeah, absolutely. I just transport, and jumping out like 2 years or 5 years, you can see. But I transport machinery to Luna, and then I pick up rare resources. That's not right. Oh, what? But I'm making so much money. I transport rare resources to, or machinery to Luna, and then I transport rare resources from Luna to Mars, or from Luna to Earth, and I just kind of bounce them back and forth. So you can see if you go into my ships here, obviously that'll show you too that you know, the ships that are doing that are making some pretty big profit. Man, that's not right. Ugh. I better take advantage of it while it exists. That would be why income and company net worth wise I'm starting to run away. Well, yeah. I mean, I just move machinery right to Luna. I pick up rare resources to Luna, on Luna, and I bring them straight back to Earth. Then the rare resources get refined into more machinery, and it just bounces back and forth. I figured that out on the second episode, I think I did, where how effective that was. I mean, it makes sense. Low population planets would want a lot of machinery, right? And you can see that, like Titan, for example, has a huge demand on machinery, just like they do water and food. But I guess they just pay a lot more for machinery than they do. And we can see that, let's see, we can see that the lithium fuel and crystals are being produced here. So if we want to move the lithium fuel, but obviously nobody's using it yet because we don't have any interstellar stuff going. So I don't really think I'll make any money off of it, right? But we could try and move it just to see what happens. I'm going to build some ships anyways to do it. So let me build some ships real quick. Let me go to here. We're going to purchase a new ship. I haven't gotten a new one in a while. I don't know what the next big one is. $50 is probably the best way to go. Yeah, Titan needs a whole lot of machines. So if we wanted to do this one, we want to move the lithium fuel, right? But we also want to move some other resources like food, consumer goods. So going like that with that, I think, but then moving lithium fuel the rest of the way, maybe it could be profitable. Maybe. We're going to find out. It's not Titan Earth Direct. We order 2 of them just to see what they do. Change the food icon to bacon icon. Oh, I'm sure you'd make his day, or his week, maybe even his life. He could die happy. Yeah, so I wanted to change that route name. Oh boy, food to lithium fuel, I guess. I have so much money. I just put the lithium fuel and everything on here. We're going to put a local office, obviously, and a maintenance hangar. Oh, well, the office will help with that. My reputation? Why did my reputation tank? I had 99% reputation. Does buildings lower reputation? Does it cost reputation to build buildings? Because I just threw up all these buildings, and then I managed to get a small office in, luckily, so that's going to give me some company reputation, but... Oh, it does not stack with other offices, so that's good to know. So that's going to give me more reputation, but that clearly isn't going to... Minus 5% rep... No! Okay, that's fine then. I'll get it back. At least I got the small office up in time, right? We'll upgrade it to a medium office when we can. But either way, this planet's going to be the lithium producing beast. It's producing more crystals than fuel, I'll say that. But by the time my earliest ships get there, it's going to be ready. Still on order for 5 more days. Let's speed up the game so we can get into the later years. Wow, it takes a while to get up, actually, the game. Look at all of the rockets and ships heading to Europa. Eventually, it will probably look like that heading to Titan. Back up to 64%. Oh, what the heck's happened? Oh, I was on the wrong thing. No, I wasn't. Uh-oh. He said yes, please. Yeah, the starting year is 2050. Okay, so that's interesting. Are you still here, Empty World? It seems like when I click on the... Okay, let's try something. If I click on the planet and it's moving very quickly, I can't seem to focus on it, right? But if I slow it down, maybe? So now the game's running slow. Let's try it again. Ah, yes. Okay, so if the planets are moving quicker, they actually outrun... They outrun the camera before. I can see that. I can see how that could be a thing. Okay, can we all... Yeah, well, I'm just making so much money. Because I'm a boss like that. Yeah, no name. It takes a while, but I like that. I like the fact that you've got to work up to it because it makes leaving the system to search the stars for better resources. It actually makes it like a challenge. You know, it's not as easy to do. Camera's a movement delay to fix its movement. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. Wow, look at this system. Wow. How about this? It's like maybe a gas giant orbiting a gas giant. That's pretty cool. That's a cool system. Yeah, I think it's nice too. Well, I just like the fact that it feels like you're progressing, right? It's not like within the first like 30 minutes of the game, if I'm already colonizing all the systems. You know, I like the fact that you slowly expand out into your solar system and then you slowly work out to other star systems, and it's kind of a big deal. That's what I really liked about Aurora 4X. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Look at this. I should screenshot this. Look at this. Or it's a Oh, this isn't even random systems, actually, I don't think. I think I ended up going back. But look at this. It's a freaking gas giant colonizing or orbiting a gas giant orbiting. There's a bunch of planets here, and look at the star. Look at that star. The gas giants are larger than the star. More gas giants. It's a very obviously non-habitable system for the most part. What's up, Raz? How's it going? Okay, let's go back into here. I wanted to see what we had. Water, availability, raw materials. Was there any rare resource? Not really. Whoa. That's just a little. Okay, so that was that system, Electra. Cool. Wow, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at the storms on that planet. It's like an ocean planet with a lot of thunderstorms going on all the time. Yeah, and the one moon was rotating counterclockwise. It's pretty cool. Rare resource, 88%. Famine on Europa, yes. Yeah, that was cool. I don't know if I'm going to find anything cool like that again. That was very unique. I don't think that's... I think it's... I love playing God. Yeah, tell me about it. Hey, if you like playing God, you'd like a game called Rise to Ruins. That's a kind of a God game. Alright, Europa. Oh, Callisto's on its way. Did our ships ever leave to go to... No, because we didn't start them. Start them now. You never see anything like that? Cool. I always like when I find stuff that the devs haven't seen themselves. But that's really cool. I think it's cool. I think stuff like this should be... I don't want to say, you know, it doesn't have to be common, but I think stuff like this should happen, you know? Because it just adds to, like, the excitement and mysteries of, like, what you're going to find. You know, having a... what essentially looks like a gas giant right here and it's being orbited by another gas giant. And then just a bunch of random planets. It's almost like the star doesn't even matter. It's almost like this is like the center and everything's orbiting around that. Obviously you got a few, but that's normal. Just graphical. But yeah, that's a really interesting system. I don't know if there's anything else like that. Oh, next day is going to be probably later. It's definitely... not now. Alright, we'll jump back in real quick. Wanted to look at Titan. Where is... so I'm sending ships off there, but whether or not they're going to make it in a decent amount of time. They're on the way, though. There they are. They don't got super far to go. We can... Oh, Universe Sandbox 2, that's a cool game. How's our reputation doing, right? 64%, so it's not much better. We could get the office upgraded. Yeah, thanks, Vanilla. Appreciate you stopping by. Absolutely. And yeah, I saw your videos and stuff, and I was watching them a couple of days ago. Pretty awesome stuff, man. Nothing better than other strategy gamers. I mean, that's like the heart and core of everything for me. That's all I play. Strategy and tycoons, survival type games. What's up, Silverleaf? How's it going? Well, the overall impressions, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I mean, I like all the different stuff you can do. I like the fact that you can expand out the different systems, moving goods between. I mean, this is totally right up my alley. Oh no, famine on Titan, creating refugees. You can actually move refugees around too, guys. I'm not sure if that has really come up much. And you can see too that, you know, obviously we're getting a lot of lithium fuel, the lithium crystals, because I set this planet up to produce a lot, but rare resources and raw materials definitely hurting. Oh no, that's the demand actually. Hold on a second. Well, you know, it's such a young planet, it's really hard to gauge. Population is still super small. How many star systems are possible? If you do a custom game, Silverleaf, you can get up to 300 right now. I don't know if that would cause your computer to explode or not. That's a lot, I feel like. I mean, right here is probably like, I don't know, 50. I mean, you could play a large game. Wait, Titan's gonna die? Are you serious? I put all that money into it and it's gonna die? Oh, you're gonna talk about your computer's gonna die before. Cap it at 100. That makes sense. Yeah, I can imagine 300 with a ton of ships rolling around would just be an absolute killer. Okay, so I did deliver some stuff here and make some money off of that. Did I pick up the lithium crystals, though? That's the question. Let's look at our ships right now. Maybe. Still en route. Oh, I guess they're still heading there. They haven't even gotten there yet. Oh, you know, okay, so that's funny. So these ships have been going now in space for a year. Well, actually not that long because they were sitting for a bit. So maybe more like six. Well, you know what? They haven't been going for that long. I think they've been sitting for a while. But they're still taking like a long time. Yeah, hey, the game, there is actually space pirates. Oh, yeah, that's all I can think about is like my computer melting as well. Oh, crap, my ship broke down. Well, that sucks because that ship's pretty much stranded. There's no way in hell. It's going to take forever for a maintenance ship to make it out there. I don't even know if I put a maintenance hangar on here. I think I was going to and I didn't. I didn't get the maintenance hangar. We all have 0 population or reputation. I'm not sure if that's because of the famine going on right now, or I'm not sure why, but nobody has any reputation with that planet now. My ships are all gonna break down before they ever make it to Titan. They hate you. Thousands are starving. They hate you all. Yeah. Well, okay, that seems about right then. That seems about right. Well, maybe we can fix that. I'm bringing food, actually. This ship right here is coming. It's coming with food. Food and consumer goods and everything. It's almost there. It's going to get there and drop that off. There's 2 ships coming, but the other one obviously is in a bit of a pickle right now. Maintenance ship on its way, but that maintenance ship's going to take forever. Oh, man. Food subsidy on Luna. What is making money right now? We'll take everything pretty much. Okay, so that's interesting. These ships now 4 years old and stuff. These aren't actually making money from machinery anymore like they were. So there you go. It's slowing down as Luna starts to become a lot more developed, I'm sure. Yep, they have a huge supply now. They don't need it as much as they did. Right, that's what I'm reading. Mine for the kid. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't bring any food. I think I just dropped some off. Famine on Mars. Oh boy. How's Titan doing now, though? They got some food. Did I make any money off of that route? No. Look at that lifetime profit. 7,000. Famine on Mercury is creating many refugees. There's a lot of famine going on right now. There's not a large water availability, I hear. Okay, let's get off the stone, right? Oh, we can do a route from Earth to Mercury. Do like a food slash water. What am I going to be bringing from Mercury? Raw materials, I guess. So food slash raw materials. Obviously, no name. They're not transporting food and water, which is why I'm going to jump in and do something about it. I could make a killing probably right now off of look at all the famine. Famine on Europa, famine on Mars, famine on Mercury, famine on Titan. So clearly I'm the only one, well, I'm going to be the only one in a second that's trying to fight the famine. We'll just start moving food and water around. We can do it like this, actually. It's way easier. So it's going to be Earth to Mercury. Oh, you can hold shift to add 10 slots. Okay, I didn't know that. That is actually very useful. Oh, let me pull up real quick. For those of you that were asking for a War 4X, I'll just throw it up in that. That's a good point. Earth probably barely has the capacity to feed itself. Here's the link to Aurora 4X people were asking earlier. 4. All right. Now, those routes, did I set those? They gotta be. Oh, they're on order, okay. That'll probably be enough to lift the famine. Oh, welcome back, Tree Sniper. I believe he is. He was just chatting a second ago. You know, you should do 3 there and then 3 somewhere else, maybe. I don't know if you can subsidize food. Earth to Mars. Right, so on Earth, we wouldn't want it picking up raw materials, I guess. Yeah, the C-sharp replacement's when I'm gonna jump in and do a series on that whenever that comes out. I don't know when, but yeah, 2030. That's about right. No offense to him, but he's doing it on his free time, so he's gonna be a bit. Yeah, that's a really good price for the game. Seriously, that's like a killer deal. 25 or 30, yeah, once it hits full release, which is more than worth it. I mean, 20% or $20 to jump in and play this is friggin' awesome. Those ships are still producing some, not as much. Earth Mars machinery making money now. The Earth to Luna not making any money anymore. So this is cool actually, because this gives us a good example to look at for how we were talking earlier, where like machinery is a good money maker, but it moves around, right? So Luna has a ton of machinery now, and it's not profitable anymore like it was in the beginning of the game because Luna's population's higher. So all these ships that were transporting machinery to Luna, oh, excuse me, I'm tired from last night. They're not making any money. But you take a look over at now the machineries that were transporting machinery to Mars, they're doing pretty well. And then we have food going to Luna still doing pretty good. And Mercury is doing pretty well too. Titan Earth isn't making any money. Like, not even a little bit. Yeah, these aren't going to make any money anymore. They're starting to cave in. We should switch these around to do something else. We should switch them to bring machinery to Mars. At least some of them, and then keep some of them moving machinery to Luna. Two of them. The rest will start bringing it to Mars. Yeah, exactly. I think we maxed out machinery on Luna. Now we'll bring it all to Mars and make money. And then after that, we can just bring it all to other places. I'm so upset about Venus. Aaron, my question actually, so you said less than a year before full launch, but you got a lot of features you want to add. Obviously, this is very early in the development stage, so I understand if this is a difficult question to ask, but is there any potential in the future of like maybe different types of expansions or something like that? You know, years down the road or a year or two? Maybe if you come up with other ideas that would be interesting for the game. I know it really doesn't make sense to talk expansions when the game's still in work under early access, but I'm just curious. I always like to get excited for stuff like that. I know that we had talked about mods for the game, which would be a modding community, which would be awesome, like different ship models and such that people could mod in. See, I got all my ships moving to Mars now, which actually, something I haven't done in a while. I should buy a few gates. Ah, no reputation. Because famine. Except for the lunar excursion, which seems to have some reputation, so they must be moving food. Okay, we can take a look at Titan then. Oh yeah, watching the ships come and go is pretty neat. It's cool because it makes it look like it's like it's almost like a bustling, you know, airport or something. Okay, so we're working on reputation with them. Xeno worlds are competing against their transportation companies. I love it. That's awesome. You discover other habitable planets with races on them, and they have their own companies going, and then they're trading different types of resources like exotic, and then everybody kind of gets involved. What's up, Crazy Dwarf? How's it going? On Twitch, I see that. I'm streaming on both Twitch and YouTube Gaming. Just a heads up. I know it can get confusing because I'm monitoring both chats. Oh, I'm great. I'm doing real good. Been going now pretty strong, actually. I don't know how long the stream's been going for, but... And I don't even know if I can check. It's been a while. Oh, well, actually, I can check. The stream's been going on for like 2 hours now. The zoom features are a little... Well, I'm moving around and such, but... I know that occasionally the game jumps to some... Sometimes it jumps like way off over in the distance and I have to come back. I'm not sure why. It's just something it does. Oh yeah, over 3 hours. Holy crap. Yeah, what's up, Cran? How's it going? Yeah, it's a very interesting game. Better camera and zoom than Foxhole. Yeah, can't argue with that logic. That's about right. Now, our reputation's not really going up here, I'll tell you. I can't seem to... Oh yeah, streaming it on Twitch and then on YouTube Gaming as well. On both of them at the same time. There's actually a link to my YouTube channel down and on the Twitch if you're watching from Twitch, because a few of you are. There's a link to my YouTube channel at the bottom. I don't use Twitch as often, obviously. I mean, I stream on it when I'm streaming, but... This is your Mars. So the government, since you're a company, Sasmith, the government sort of kind of monitors and protects, offers protection and everything. And you can build security, which I was just looking at actually. We'll jump back in and take a look at it again. You can actually build security services, which will increase the AU, so the actual units of the distance of protection from the planet, so that your ships don't get like raided by pirates and such. Everybody catching up to me. A lot of these planets were hurting for famine. Oh man, thanks for stopping by, Empty Worlds. I appreciate it. Enjoy that list of bugs. You said you had like 500, but you had 400 of them knocked out. So in-game company's doing really good. I mean, right now I'm just kind of monitoring to see what, because there's a lot of famine going about, and I was moving ships around because they weren't doing too well profit-wise. I originally had like an empire in machinery. Oh, that bug list will always keep growing. Empty World, it's never gonna stop. Somebody will always find. There's always a new bug. Yeah, I had a monopoly in machinery for a while, and I was making a killing doing it. But now it's kind of caught up to me because I was just basically delivering machinery from Earth to Luna, right? So yeah, we can see I was delivering machinery from Earth to Luna, but now Luna's pretty much, there's no real demand for machinery. So there's really no money to be made doing it, which is kind of sad. So now, with that being said, I was moving ships around to transport machinery from Earth to Mars, but it's not proving to be very profitable. These are profitable, food and resources though. My Titan to Earth is just, these ones are making no money, but that was really just to try to help Titan grow. But money-wise, they're just completely broke. And like, I've got these, and these are just doing nothing. Sometimes they turn a small profit, then they lose it. These ones are bad. Earth to Luna. What are these moving? Machinery? Machinery and rare resources. So there's no money to be made right now doing this. I could switch them. Or just sell the ships. They're not making money. Yeah, it does eventually become a fight. Like, if I decided I didn't want to build on, like, a particular planet, so say I was like, for example, I've already done for, like, Europa. I've just decided that for whatever reason, I don't find Europa to be really valuable enough for me to build on. So if we go look at Europa, I don't own any spaceports here. Eventually, the other companies could buy all of them up so that I couldn't get in there if I wanted to later down the line. But I just don't really consider Europa very valuable to me. Because it's so far away, it's just not. The only reason I'm shipping stuff to Titan is because it's the one planet that has large amounts of dilithium. Yeah, he's moving a bunch of single-shot rockets right now to Europa and the other planets over here, and he's probably making good money doing it, we can see. Ugh. I mean, we're all neck and neck for net worth. Income, I'm way up there, but... I'm 1.189 to the 7th power. Nice! 2 multiplayer bugs from tonight fixed already. Awesome. For those of you that know, Whiskers is also a developer working on the game. So, he's already fixed 2 of the multiplayer bugs. Alright. Yeah, look, there's no lifetime profit here. Look at how Earth to Mercury just like hemorrhaging funds. Yeah, I'm sure it won't be pushed to Steam for a little bit. I can understand that. There's my ships. Trying to make a profit. I'm not doing a very good job. Yeah. Okay, so these are my only 2 ships now. Well, no, there's 2 more here. Yeah, Earth, Mars. Those ones are always kind of... They are moving good, so... A lot of planets here are already colonized. You have the farther ones out here. They already looked at these. There wasn't too much raw materials. I think this one was raw materials too. Oh wait, I think I had rare. That was rare too. Yeah, 37%. You know what the biggest, like, the best monopoly thing to be on this would be? Almost like people, because you could just constantly move people. You could constantly move people, like, to all the new developing. I didn't, yeah, no, see, originally what I was doing is I had I was going to turn Titan into a sort of lithium fuel producing monster, but it's just so far away that I can't even get ships really to be effective. I can send a bunch of ships, but I mean, even then, they're very little profit until I get the colony developed. Yeah, that's the big thing too. Yeah, like a distribution hub. So to be able to navigate out to these smaller systems, obviously, I need some type of like, I need to leapfrog my way out there. So if I could have like, I need to set up myself on one of these moons here, turn that into a effective planet, and leapfrog off that to other systems. That seems like it'd be the best way to do it. I could see that. So like if I was to say subsidize, colonize this planet, build it up, get a high development, food and water, carry food, water, and everything like that to that planet from Earth, and then from that planet leapfrog to Titan and build it up. That would be the best way to do it. Yeah, and then obviously better ships. I'm still at the rate the game's going. I've advanced 6 years already, which is, we've been playing for a long time. In 6 years, it'd be 14 more years, or 15 actually, till I got hyperdrives. Well, man, I'm tired, guys. It's killing me. I am tired. Yeah, it'd be another 15 more years till I got hyperdrives. That is the best way to do it. Oop, there we go. That is the best way to do it, though, now that I think about it. So say I was to, like, subsidize this colony, right? 450,000. So we have a company reputation of 100%. Colonization ships are planned. That's cool. I didn't even think about that. We could go ahead and build a local office on it, upgrade it right off the bat, because that makes sense. This has some raw material, a little bit rare visibility, obviously very low habitability. But now I can use that planet as a leapfrog point. So I would build it up by sending a bunch of ships that would transport food and water to it, and then build up the development, and then from there I could move rare resources and machinery over to Titan. And start developing Titan. So I would actually go here and I would do a rare resource mine and a machinery factory, and then I gotta let my reputation build up before I keep doing stuff. So I'm slowly figuring all of this out too myself, on how to like better be effective with all of it. Does the hyperdrive invent more ships? I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I would imagine that all your older ships can just do hyperdrive. I've never made it that far, to be honest with you. Oh, the store rule, so it goes into your hangar rather than getting sold, and that makes sense. So what you're saying is, right, so if I wanted to leapfrog from... If I wanted to do the leapfrog, right, so I can move goods into Titan a little bit quicker, maybe, I would move food and water to here, and then leapfrog them over to Titan, maybe? Or what's the point of storing goods in your hangar, really? Why not just sell them? Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Store food in case a famine hits. All my ships are producing, right? Except for one. Oh, that's just the Titan one, so. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here because I've been streaming for a little over 3 hours now. I'm pretty burnt out. I got some stuff I got to go finish up, but I want to thank everybody for stopping by. That was a pretty awesome game. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I've got a series on my channel that's going to be worth watching for anybody that wants more. I can get a link to that. And I want to thank the developers for stopping by, both earlier when we were streaming the whole game and we were all playing together and chatting, and then obviously being able to stop by in the chat, in the actual text chat, and talk to everybody was pretty cool because people got to get questions answered because we all were coming up with like really cool ideas. So it was cool that they could stop by and answer those questions and the ideas we had and everything. Yep, see you later, Crazy Dwarf. Thanks for stopping by, man. Let me go ahead and drop, because the third video for this will be coming out tomorrow, so just so I've got it out so everybody can see. I don't know if I can get that to load. Because there's the playlist for the series right there. Yeah, glad you got to stop by too, because it was looking like you weren't going to be able to stop by for a bit. No name. And then on top of that, there's also the if I can pull that up. There's also the Discord invite link, which I should probably drop. So you guys who are hanging out right here, if you want to hang out on Discord, because that's really the best way to catch streams and everything, because that's where I announce everything. I like to put that out there because I need... A lot of people don't know that that exists. So I'm like trying to let people know it exists. There's the playlist. And the Discord. Nice. Yeah, Discord is super active actually. Yeah, that's something good point pointing that out, because a lot of people picture that it's not active. It's actually very active, and we even have a ranking system where as you're more active in the Discord, you can rank up and get different ranks and everything. So it's a lot of fun because people are in there chatting and talking, and there's a little competition going on right now between like people trying to get higher ranks than other people. So it's pretty fun. We have a lot of fun in there, but we mainly just are constantly like linking. We're linking games that you know, people want to play and talking about different strategy games and whatnot, so we have a lot of fun there. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I probably got like 5 hours of sleep last night, so I know your pain. I'm actually exhausted right now. I'm probably not going to get much sleep tonight either because I got a lot to do. But yeah, so like I said, I got the series there for the game, so for people who want more, you can always go see that because that's going on. I'll be playing the series for quite some time, you know, trying to get up in the different years and everything so we can get to hopefully FTL and start getting some different systems. Oh yes, and votes. That's one thing. Actually, it's a good thing to bring up, as I still got people in here. Is that on the Discord channel too, I have a kind of voting thing going on where people can vote on what games they want to see on the channel. So that's pretty cool, and people like taking part in watching that as well. That's a lot of fun. The game that won the vote we did, what was it, over the weekend? So over last weekend, the game that ended up winning for the next series is actually going to be Alpha Centauri. So for anybody out there that's a big fan of Alpha Centauri, I'll have a series on that on my channel here soon. And then other games coming up are going to be Darkwood and Factorial. I'll have Factorial on here too. But yeah, I'll be playing Interstellar Transport Company the series for it for a bit, and then jumping back to it as it progresses and updates, so we can all check out all the different cool stuff coming to it. It'll be a game I'll be constantly revisiting, I'm sure, kind of like Cataclysm, just always coming back to it because it's so cool. Yep. Oh, and then the stream too. For anybody that wants to catch the stream, for those of you guys who missed the beginning of the stream when we were talking with the developers and everything, you'll be able to catch it later on the channel as it renders and everything. Once I get it uploaded on the channel, you guys will see it, and then you'll be able to watch the stream. So then you can see the beginning where we were all playing multiplayer and talking about different features of the game, because I know a couple of people who jumped in late and missed that part. But yeah, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get some rest and whatnot and just go finish some stuff up. But thank you guys for joining me, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the next stream, and hopefully I'll see some of you on the Discord server as well as kicking around in the comment sections of the channel. So I'll see you guys later.